Everything's so clear.
Oh, damn, that scratch was loud.
About to do some AS. What is it? ASR?
Yes.
ASMR.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh. Oh, gosh.
I want to
Yeah,
scratch.
Green.
on
If you
this
can move,
bad.
if you can move it to the right a little bit, I
the
can tell
right?
you're gonna be a little echoey. You want it's got to be right in front of you.
Is this good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, you're perfect now. Okay.
Okay, good.
All right. Here we go. 10 seconds. 10.
Was that is a test?
No. Well, okay. No, that wasn't. We'll start all over.
Oh shit!
All right. We'll start all over. All right. I'm gonna do 5 seconds. Ready?
From the top.
5.
Check, check, check. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, that means you're on tunes into chapter 93 of the Introverted Intuition podcast. My name is Jeff, a.k.a. the Petty Podcaster, a.k.a. the Ambitious Introvert. As always, I got my family with me, Coco, CR, Laney's on the way. Say what's up, y'all.
Hey guys, I like that family. We are family.
We are
love that.
family.
We are family.
We've bonded
Yes. We have bonded on many levels. I
over
feel
drinks and
We
food.
broke bread.
Yeah, fact. Not really yet, but
Huh?
we haven't really broke bread yet.
Not literally.
Oh,
have.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
figuratively. Well,
Yeah.
we ate together.
We did.
we
that's
did.
what I meant.
We didn't
It
eat
counts.
enough together.
I know. I was
That
still
not
hungry
enough
afterwards.
Food, yo.
It was good, but yeah.
Word. So, like I said, Laney's on the way. We're gonna get drunk very soon. I hope she hurries up because I need a drink. Before we introduce our guest, though, I just want to give a shout out to the founder of Feedspot.com, Anuj Agarwal. Hopefully, I pronounced your name right, but he is the owner of that site, blog.feedspot.com, and they did a top 15 list of the top 15 podcasts that were kind of the best for introverts and just.
Yeah.
That people should listen to in 2019, and he voted us number 3 on that list.
Number
congrats.
3.
And
Yo, I
it's-
teared up when I heard that. I literally, tears were
bro.
welling up in my eyes.
Yo, I cried like that entire day
Yo.
when I saw that.
So
Cause
exciting.
and it's even doper because like they're based out of they have offices in the U.S. but they were originated in India.
Awesome.
And I did notice like the listeners in India kind of spiked up recently, which is kind of nuts. Like
What poppin'?
Mumbai specifically. So that was
Shout out to
definitely
Mumbai.
Word, yeah. that was definitely a huge honor, and you made a grown black man cry, yo. Like, thank you for that.
love.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Shout out.
Yeah, and this episode is actually dropping the date of our event, but June 21st is Press Play. The venue is 5th and Mad, I think it's called, right near Penn Station. The flyer is on our Instagram page at Introverted Intuition Pod. You can RSVP. It's like $10 at the door after a certain time, right? Something like that.
Well, it's $10 before midnight and $20 after midnight.
And open bar from 10 to 11. You can come in, get drunk, so you can get the confidence to...
Or get nice. You know, you don't
Get-
have to get
get
drunk.
nice,
You know.
get
He
nice.
always wants people to get drunk.
Yeah,
We want the sober folk to come out
Yo,
too. There's
Jack.
some that don't drink. So.
I
There's
don't
no
think I want
chill.
any sober people in there. If you want to
Oh,
network, you got to be
God.
mad comfortable, like...
Yeah, but you could be comfortable sober. We're not going to judge. You
Right.
know.
So yeah, pull up June 21st if you want to talk shit and network and flirt with I don't know whoever's on the show. If you want to flirt with one of us, you could
He's
try.
trying to instigate this one.
Yo,
Yeah.
Lainey and Coco got the most fans.
Oh my God.
I think bullshit. I
Don't
think I
get
got
him
the most.
started.
I got
Don't
the
get
most
him
fans. Fuck out of here.
I wanted to see what he was going to say.
I probably got the most fans. But we have a special guest with us. Someone whose work was recommended to us after we did an interview with them. Liz, remember that?
Oh yeah, Liz B.
We
Croft.
did Liz B. Croft. We did an interview with her outside. We were drinking a little bit. We were still. I think we were smoking, right? Too.
We may have been.
And
possible.
yeah, I was just
It's a
like, yeah,
possibility.
like if you know any other people that would be interested in coming on the show, potentially, please let me know. And you were the first person she said.
No, I love
Yeah,
her.
that's
And,
I love her.
Yeah, and I went through your work and see what you've done, and I was super impressed, and I wanted to definitely talk to you.
Thank
So
you.
please introduce yourself to the people.
All right, y'all, it's Veronica. Y'all may know me as Brooklyn Petite on Instagram. What's up? How we doing?
Word. You look like you're
Welcome,
feeling
welcome.
pretty nice right now, pretty relaxed.
I am. I'm a little high, so that's
I can tell she chilling.
Eyes are not open at all, by
Right.
the way.
I'm trying to, like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just let it flow.
Word.
That's dope.
Chinky.
Word. This is your second podcast?
This is my second podcast, yes. I was on Sophisticated Ignorance. Shout out to Steven.
Friends of the
That's
show.
my guy. Yeah.
Do you listen to podcasts in your free time ever?
I do. Not besides Joe Budden, obviously, but like Sophisticated Ignorance was one of them. And then when Liz told me about you guys, I was like, oh, let me check them out. And like, it was just, you guys just flow so naturally. I was like, I like this. Like,
Oh, thank
Word.
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So like, yeah.
That means a lot to introverts
That's an honor.
Right.
or ambiverts.
That's an honor because I feel like we'd be
CRs.
mad awkward, like, or CR be mad awkward. And
What? I'd be awkward?
Yeah.
When?
No.
I don't
Never.
know. I'm just talking shit.
Oh.
It's not, don't-
Nah, that's really dope to hear though. Like, so I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Welcome.
having
Yes.
me. Yes.
Thank you for
We
coming.
appreciate you.
Brooklyn Petite.
Yes.
Why do you go by that name?
It's such a funny story. I was literally like just getting like a trim. I was getting my hair trimmed, and my hairstylist, she was like, "Well, find out what's you. Like, I mean, you're from Brooklyn, and like you have this going. This is your area." Because at the time, my name was like Amor Vero, like regular Spanish chick, trying to throw some like Spanish in
What does
there.
that mean?
Love Vero, and then like my nickname.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it was like Love and then Vero as my nickname, and it was just they will always get it wrong. And whenever people would be like, "Oh, you're Amori," or like they just couldn't get the word right, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta find my niche. Like I gotta find out what can like stand. Like when you see me, that name
Yeah.
pops up, and it was just the day I was like smoking. I'm like, fuck, Brooklyn. What can go to Brooklyn? I'm like, well, I'm short, but I can't say Brooklyn short. Like, what the hell is that? And then my mom was like, well, we're petite size, and I'm like,
Moms be knowing.
Okay,
Right.
yes. And I'm like, Brooklyn Petite. I was like, bang. And I was like, that's it. It's mine. I'm making
it
mine.
felt perfect, right? It felt
was
like it
so
fit, yeah.
good. It's just like, I'm petite and I'm from Brooklyn. Like,
And it's crazy. You somebody kind of overthought it, but like it was so simple. Like,
it was so
right in front of you.
simple. And I was just like, fuck. Like, I was overthinking this shit so much.
I like that because I never heard that combination of words.
Yeah, simple
Right,
but
you know?
precise. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very distinct.
And it's so funny because people were like, if people like see me or like an event, they'd be like, oh, Brooklyn Petite. Like, fuck Veronica. Like, no, you're like Brooklyn Petite. Which I like. I like that because, you know, in social media, you have to be like this somebody. And when
Yeah.
you're not on social media, you can be who you really like in your, like, what you do on your days. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I like separating the two.
So Brooklyn Petite is like your alter ego, kind of.
I would say, yeah. It's like Brooklyn Petite. Like, when you think of Brooklyn Petite, it's body positivity, mental health. She smokes weed. She shops vintage. Like, you already know what Brooklyn Petite is. And then it's like, when I share my, like, intimate stuff, it's like my family. I call them my family. They'd be like, oh, this is Veronica. And I'm like, yeah, thank you. And I feel it, and I'm like, yo, thank you for seeing that and calling it out. Like, I like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
What do you think was like the reason why you gained such a following? Was it just your energy, do you think? Or was it something specific that, like, did you go viral for beating somebody up? Like, what happened? Like,
How'd you get Brooklyn
You
on
know?
somebody?
Yeah.
Right, kick somebody in the
Those
face with some
funny.
Timbs.
yeah. Imagine getting beat up by someone who's mad, like, petite. Like,
It
Word.
could happen.
it
Don't
could
sleep.
happen. Yeah.
You
it
taking
could happen.
that L. You definitely taking that L for life. Like, I got fucked up by a petite girl. Like,
Ain't nobody like Shaq ain't getting beat up by somebody who's petite though. Like that'd be embarrassing.
Maybe if they catch him sleeping.
If they got them hands.
Damn, Shaq,
well,
get
it's
your
like
hands
the same
up.
thing. I mean, it's like the same thing with that boxing match. Guy was fit, the other guy wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody
Makes a
thinking
difference.
differently.
I thought
you
homie
know?
had no chance,
Yeah.
bro. Like just off the gut, like the gut was like, nah, you can't
No,
even swing, bro.
right.
Like, he's a champ though. Shout out to him.
It's like that. But for me, I think it was when I did my solo trip to Paris that my numbers just like went up. Because at that time I was like going through like a heartbreak, and I was just like,
Is that
like,
what spurred you going?
So it was just like I needed space, like I needed time. Like it was just too much of Veronica, maybe this, you know, it was just too many people in my ear, and I was just like, I need to remove myself and like just take that time for myself. And I just booked that flight and I was out. And then like when I was posting about it and like posting the pictures, like my numbers was just going up, and I'm like, holy shit, people can relate to this. Like, people do this. People need to do this. So I think that's what, like, brought it out for me.
What was your experience like in Paris when you were out there?
Oh, it was amazing.
How's the food?
Oh. All right, so I wasn't a vegan then. Let me tell you. Man, I didn't even know there was something called, like, frog legs. Like, I was eating frog legs. I was eating duck. Like,
what?
Tell us about frog legs.
It was
How are
good,
they?
yeah.
Did they taste like chicken?
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Do they really?
It tastes like chicken.
Yeah,
it
they do,
really
yeah.
does.
Okay, so it's
It
worth a
really
try.
does.
Okay.
It definitely
Is
is.
it even meaty? I assume they're really small. Like
It's somewhat meaty. It's just it's a lot more like
bone or cartilage.
Yeah. So, but I fuck that shit up. Let me tell you.
I didn't explore like any different foods in Paris. I ate like the same shit, but it was obviously different variations because it's made in Europe. But like, I had the best burger I ever had in Paris.
Really?
Yeah.
It was some
Yeah,
other
'cause
shit.
it's not
You know
American,
what?
fuck,
Exactly.
you know?
Like, I don't know what it is, but I do know what it is. Their meat is just more fresher and cleaner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard
Honestly,
that.
yeah.
Everybody
Pumped full of
says that.
antibiotics and
Yeah,
whatnot.
they're not
Everybody
pumping,
says
and
that.
those animals are freely living their life, and unfortunately,
You don't have to
shit
check for
happens.
organic. It is naturally
It is,
organic.
And
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Makes a
And
difference.
you taste that when
Yeah.
you do. And I ate so much pasta. I gained weight during that trip, that's for sure. I was on some like eat, pray, love type shit.
Yeah, feed the soul, you know?
Feed the soul.
Feed your
Keep
soul.
the heartbreak
Fuck
away.
it.
Yeah, I was.
Who
I
follows a
remember-
diet plan when they're on vacation?
Right.
You shouldn't.
I was like, I would never forget this day too. Like, I was in this restaurant and like these old people of band, like they were playing live, and I was just sitting there, and this guy was like, "You look like you need weed," and I'm like,
Fabulous.
yeah, I do. I need to be alone.
That's a creepy opening line, by the way. If you try
Yeah,
to
it
be.
really
It
is.
can
You
be.
know what? He was with his girlfriend. And they were newlyweds or something like that. I don't know.
Europeans are different, though.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
trying
A
to
lot
have-
of people told me that they would be rude, but I didn't get that.
If
shit
you're from
at
New
all.
York, you don't pay attention to that, right?
No, yeah, because
Nah.
we're rude, right?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
We
If
rude.
they're not more rude than we are out here.
Nah, they was
can't
hella
get ruder than fucking New York.
They
you
was
know?
hella rude to me. I felt some type of way.
Really?
Did you?
I felt some type of way, yo. I was really tight. This one dude on the
Well, yeah.
huh?
What happened?
Nah, like this dude was just icing me down, talking shit about me in French. Like I could just, you could just tell body language.
Body
Somebody's,
language,
yeah,
yeah.
like so he was a hating ass nigga. But, it's okay. But like, but it was crazy. Like, did you notice this? Like, did you see? You didn't really see that many people of color. Like, it was like for every 5 people of color,
you don't
white people was
see.
like.
I
one.
mean, I went to my friend Mirna. She told me about this African restaurant. It's owned by this guy, like super dope African stylist. He works for BT over there in Paris. Yeah. And where he's at, I think it was District 1 or something. Like, it was, I don't remember what exactly area it was, but where he was, it was a lot. It was like, I felt like I was in Harlem. No lie.
Wow.
Like, I felt like I was in Harlem. I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah, you were
Word.
comfortable, right?
I was so comfortable, and I
Yeah.
was walking around, and I went to his restaurant, and he welcomed me super, like, with open arms. His food was ridiculous. Like, because in Paris, they was very small portions. No, he served.
Yeah.
He served. He was like, "You ready to eat?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
please.
sir. Thank you." It was just an amazing time. But, like, in that area that his restaurant is, I was like, okay.
Word.
Definitely coming back.
Isn't the Mona Lisa
Yeah.
trash?
Hmm?
Isn't the Mona Lisa like trash in real life?
Yo, okay.
Did you see it?
Wow, I did.
It's-
Little ass fucking thing.
It ain't shit.
It's small.
Hell yeah.
The case is bigger. Like, the case that they have around it is way bigger than the fucking painting. And I'm like,
Wow.
They got a Polaroid of the fucking Mona Lisa just chilling. Niggas going crazy for it.
yo, ridiculous. I'm like, this is insane. And it was just like mad Asians too, like taking a picture. And it's funny because a good friend of mine, she's Asian. She's like, get ready because they come. They come. Like, there's a lot. And I'm
Really?
like, yo, you are not joking.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Who would have
Yeah.
thought that? Yeah.
Everything else in the Louvre was good to me. Like better than the Mona Lisa.
everything beautiful. I'm like, y'all standing in line for this shit?
Right.
I
feel like
was
that-
all the way in the back, zoomed in, got my pic. Like,
I'm out.
it was
We're
not
moving.
that
New York
serious.
attitude. Out.
So it seems like your growth online was just super organic. It wasn't really a plan for you.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. Like, I was just like, I was in that point where I was just like, okay, I just need to stop forcing this shit. Like, I would think, like, I would really think, like, sit down and be like, oh, okay, this outfit, this. And I'm like, why? Like, but I like this. Like, why am I going to wear this?
Right.
You know, like, so I just went and I just did it naturally like that. I was just like, okay, I'm not stressing this shit anymore. Like, I'm done.
Yeah.
What was like your first initial thoughts? Like as you saw the followers going up, was like any pressure? Was it excitement? Was it nervousness?
It was a little bit of nervousness because it was just like, okay, I'm super, like, I'm as transparent as I can be. So I just don't want my thing to be looked at as such, like, a negative thing. Like, I want this to be like, this is my journey. This is what I went through. I'm only telling my story. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm just telling my story. So I was a little nervous because I didn't think like people would really like accept that type of shit.
Right.
But the good feedback that I got back from it was amazing. Like I was looking at my mom. She's like, she keeps telling me all the time. She's like, I can't believe like you're really making a difference in these girls' eyes. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, it's powerful.
For sure, like pushing the body positive movement and all that stuff. I think that's really beneficial. And if you're doing it in a real way, like I think people will definitely get attached to that really fast.
Yeah.
And like you say, your fans are your family, right?
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Helena in the building.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm so excited to meet you. I'm glad they did the setup. Like, was this being funny today, or?
Oh, okay. So I didn't even peep that, but it's perfect. So okay, I'm gonna put her on blast right now.
Okay.
She loves you.
I do.
She's a fan.
Stop, seriously?
Yeah.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Girl,
Huge
yeah.
fan.
I just wanna. Let me give you.
Oh,
I
yay.
don't wanna, yeah, you know.
Huge fan. I was
She
so
was waiting for
excited.
this
I was
all
so
day.
excited. I really
Oh,
was.
so
And I'm
Yo.
so pissed off that I'm late because I really was waiting for this all day.
Yo.
But
when
my
I-
day didn't start till like 1:30, so.
I feel that.
When
feel
I put
that.
in the group chat that you were coming, she got hype as fuck.
Oh,
like,
that's
did.
amazing.
Yeah,
Thank
mad
you, thank
emojis.
you.
and you bought the tequila.
I did.
Yes,
we
we
about to get lit,
drinking.
yeah.
Let me finish up this water.
For sure. Shit, I should have got some water. So as you've like continued to get fans and stuff like that, like what do you think like you're really from their perception, like what do you think you're known for? Is it strictly just body positivity, or is it just being like the chick who went on solo trips, or
I think it's just how transparent I am and how raw I am on IG, and then like with the body positivity, I think because I get that a lot, like. Even when they meet me at events, they're like, yo, I wasn't expecting to actually, like, meet you.
yeah.
Because they were expecting someone else.
Yeah.
They were, and I'm like, nah, that's really me. I'm organic. Like, that's really how I'm telling you, you can hear it being poured.
Yeah, facts. You heard every drop.
ASMR.
He did pour him out aggressively, though, I ain't gonna lie. This nigga's thirsty as hell.
One of our listeners right now is about to go pour something for themselves.
I
Just off the
suggest you
sounds.
do. We should start doing
Yeah.
drinking games.
I be wondering what people be doing when they be listening to this podcast.
Nah,
Can I get a
please
cup,
do.
please?
Smoking.
They better
Smoking.
be smoking. I'm Brooklyn Petite's in here, so y'all better be smoking.
Rolling up and smoking.
I brought something for
Do you do like the social media influencer thing full time, or do you have an actual job?
I don't. I quit my job in January, so I'm doing it full time. But I'm going back into working. This shit is New York is expensive.
It is. It is.
Oh my god,
Facts.
it is. It's like my goal last year was like, okay, in 6 months I'm gonna quit and do this shit full time. And then like
did it.
I had enough to like save and like enjoy it. And then like life happened and shit had to get paid. And I'm like.
I hate when like
Bills come due.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what? I don't mind it. I'll sacrifice it, go back to work, and just get my credit where it needs to be. Because that's my main focus, you know? I mean,
It's everything.
Yeah, like if that shit is not good, like where you going?
I know.
That's
How
very
much cash
true.
you
Yeah.
got. If you don't
No
got
matter
good
how
credit,
matters.
And I saw that you never reached out to a brand yourself, like brands have reached out to you.
Yeah.
And that's just based off like your energy.
Yes.
That's crazy. And then I guess that's the reason why you quit your job, because you were getting paid.
I was getting paid like frequently and stuff like that. But even with my freelancing, like I'm a stylist and I like to do it on the side. But I have to work on that as well. Like I have to work on my portfolio for that in order to get paid big time money for it, because I don't really have much to show for it. You know, it was just mainly like all my clients that I was basically styling, and I would take those photos and I was building that as my portfolio. But you know, for the big games, like you really gotta have some like editorial type shit.
Yeah. I saw recently that you started working with Modcloth, who I love.
Yes.
I've loved them for forever.
Yes.
What made you start or agree to work with them?
First, like with clothing brands, it's so hard sometimes to work with them because they don't cater to every woman.
Yeah.
They you know,
Yeah.
size 10 is like a big size for them.
Yeah.
That
And it
shit
should be
barely
like that,
fits
yeah.
me, you know? Like,
Yeah.
so with MacCloth, like, when they hit me up, I'm like, before I say yes, like, I need to do my research, what sizes do y'all go up to? And if you cater to the, my IG family, because I do have my, skinny girls and I do have my big girls, too. Like, everybody got to get
Skinny
the same
girls
size.
love you too.
I love them, too, So it's like, you have to cater to everybody, not just one particular group.
Yeah, exactly.
So when they reached out to me and I found out, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I like this. So that was pretty dope. That was a good experience.
It seems like you look at like working with brands from like a selfless perspective. I feel like some people would just work with any brand that's offering a check just because they can, right?
But that's because and they fall into that misconception. It's just like, just because they want you and they want to pay you this amount, don't don't lower your standards for them.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a brand that reached out to me, and I looked through the Instagram, and I was like, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be your one diverse.
The token.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be that
Yeah.
person. I know that you do need to. I know you do need to start somewhere,
But not with me.
but you know, that's not with me.
I'm not here.
No.
Yeah.
If anything, do it as a group, and you have a bunch of African Americans and Latinos in it, and then you can start from there. You know, do it as a group thing. But I'm not about to be your first. No.
That statement is just straight up full of integrity and just like intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So like going back to like your childhood in Brooklyn, like did you inherit that type of attitude, that type of mentality, like growing up?
I had to. I grew up in Marcy Projects.
Facts.
You know, I was a Puerto Rican with long hair. I was light skinned, but you
Still
know,
got like a sore thumb, yeah.
yeah. So and they would pick on me like I had the gap, I had the crazy kinky hair, like yeah, they would pick on me for dumb shit. So it's like every day it was a fight, you know. Somebody's pulling my hair. Somebody's putting. I got gum on my hair one time.
Ay, the worst. The
Funny
worst to get
thing
out,
is,
yeah.
and it wasn't even a girl, it was a guy.
Ay,
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm
He
saying?
had a crush.
Still jealous, yeah, exactly.
So you gotta like get scissors and cut that shit out, right? How does that work? I don't have curly hair. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
through the process.
unfortunately, my mom had to cut that. She had to cut. I was crying. I was bawling. My hair was so long, and I had to get a stupid bob. Not that bobs weren't great, but like when you do a bob and curly hairstyle, bro,
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
that shit
It's
don't
tough.
work. That shit don't work.
Did you like what were like your goals for yourself when you were younger, and like are they kind of a reflection of what you're doing now at all in any way?
Hell no, man. It was so much that I wanted to be. I want to be a lawyer, and then I was like, nah, I can't do this. This is like stressful. Then, and plus the schooling, I was like, hell no, I'm not about to go through all that.
It's like 12 years of school for no
Yeah.
reason.
Nah,
Plus
I'm
debt.
okay.
All the
Like, get
debt
out of here.
afterwards, yeah.
Thank you.
So like I went into when I was in high school, I just used to like I couldn't afford shit. Like we were broke. We were broke. I wouldn't say poor, but we were broke. To the point where I just had to like if my cousin were to give me their clothes, I had to make something out of it. So I was always like doing something weird or some crazy shit on my
You're
clothes.
creative, yeah.
And when I was in high school, when a good friend of mine, she was like, why don't you just be a designer? And I was like, well, I can't draw, so that's the next. I'm not even about to force that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't draw, but I was like, you know what? I can learn more about the buying aspects of things, like fabrics, different type of fabrics. So I was like fashion merchandising, like I was doing his like research and all that. So I went into FIT. First year, hated it.
Really?
Oh, I hated it.
Why would you hate about it?
Oh my God, the pale faces. It's so negative. I'm sorry.
Let's just be real.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like
Yeah.
I love my white girls. I'm sorry, but it was just there wasn't enough of me there.
Not enough
And it was-
representation.
No, and I'm the type of girl like I'm here to like get shit done. I'm not about to be out here with my Gucci's and I got
Yeah.
sweats,
Yeah.
tea, and my hair's looking a mess. I'm just here for class.
Yes.
But those eyes will judge you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, those eyes will judge you. So like after that, I transferred out. I went to City Tech and I was right at home.
You know, I went to City Tech and I hated it.
It is.
I felt like I was you. I was getting up early in the morning to go to 8 o'clock class, just rolling out the bed, putting on anything, and I was walking to class with girls in full makeup, fur coats, and stilettos, and I'm just sitting there like, well, like you fucking a professor here, bitch?
show.
Like what you doing? Like this is City Tech, this is City College. So if you got a fucking teacher in City College, I don't know what your life is about then, because it's just. But I just couldn't take it. I was just like, nope, this is high school all over again, and I
It
just
is high
stopped
school.
going.
Well, any like college is
Yeah,
like high school.
high
It
school.
is. It is.
To the
is.
ladies in the room, have y'all ever had that moment like reflect like the reverse? Like have y'all ever like looked at somebody like, bitch, what are you doing like wearing that or like?
I
that
have.
judgmental
I think
Everybody
attitude?
has, yeah.
Everybody has. I had my fair share.
I saw a
of
bitch in Ugg boots yesterday. I'm like, it's fucking June, bitch. What are you
Oh my
doing?
God.
What are you doing?
I feel like dudes don't have that really like.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
they do. Yo, yes,
They just
they
I
don't
feel like
share it.
I don't care. Like I
Just
just.
because you don't do it don't mean they
Yeah,
don't.
facts. I can't speak
It's
for
because it
everybody.
has to be really.
happens.
I think for
Yeah.
guys, it has to be really outrageous. Like, you know what I'm
It
saying?
has to be something like out of like what the like.
Like,
out
what
of
is this
their
nigga
way.
really trying?
Okay, so do
Like-
y'all be looking at Russell Westbrook like with the side eye sometime?
I be looking like his shit's fire. Like his fits
Really?
be fire. Like
For real?
some of them, yeah.
No, they do to me too, but I know men who be like, oh, this nigga right here. I be like, nah, he's
Oh, yeah,
creative.
he's
like,
Yeah.
Different.
I'm pretty sure they give him that. All right.
give him that. But there is, who is it in the NBA that who was it that was, no, he cannot dress. Like, I love him, but he can't dress. A football player.
Football player.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Don't know his name.
Panthers.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Cam
gonna
Newton.
say-
Yes, Cam Newton. Yes,
Newton?
love him, but he just needs to
Everybody
fire
says that
whoever
about
he
him.
like. Just fire them.
I thought I was gonna say OBJ, but okay.
You know, he gets a pass. I feel like there's flair there.
I be judging niggas wearing jean shorts. Like, I don't
Yo,
know, like,
same.
I can't fuck with jean shorts at all, bro. Like, and with the dusty Tims,
Yo, you
like,
are not.
nigga fresh out of construction, 9 to 5 with the dusty Tims, and like, I can't fuck with them.
The
Son.
worst.
Yeah.
But I thought men revamped the jean shorts when they come up a little higher, a little tighter.
You know, ASAP Rocky, Kanye probably tried them niggas, but
Not
nah.
like you thinking like baggy 1990s jean shorts.
Any jean shorts, bro. Like,
I think men have come a long way with the jean shorts.
never catching me in jean
No?
shorts.
I have not
Ever.
worn those since I was
Like,
probably
what's
in
jean
grade
shorts?
school.
Like, I'm confused now.
Nigga, jeans,
Like jeans, denim.
yeah, denim, like shorts, like
You don't like the new style of denim shorts they have out for men?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The slim joints.
Like the kind of slim ones that you kind of like roll them up to the ankle, like not your ankle, your cat. Well,
niggas look like they can't breathe in them shit.
I know what you're talking about.
I mean, with your body, yeah, don't put them on, okay?
Yeah.
Like leg day at the gym, upper body day at the gym.
And Elena's in her bag right now. She started making jokes. She's in her bag right now. Go
No,
ahead.
but I get it. Different strokes for different folks.
Fact. How did you discover Brooklyn Petite over here? How did you become such a big fan?
Yes, I want to know.
See, when I'm on Instagram, I hardly ever pay attention to my feed because my feed is like all positivity, even with shit and all types of shit. And girls like Brooklyn Petite. So it's like Brooklyn Petite, Lisby, I Am Jennifer Lee, like all these beautiful girls who just love fashion and they're like their own little Carrie from Sex and the City.
Oh my God, that's
So I kind of
honored.
do
Whoa.
gravitate towards women like that. And I was on every day on the Explore page, just like seeing what's out there. And I think you were in Paris by yourself.
See,
That's
told
funny.
You.
We were just talking about that.
Damn, that solo parachute.
See?
Yo,
Yes,
okay.
I'm telling
Or
you.
either she was in Paris or she was getting ready to go to Paris. But I came at I think I started following as you was getting ready to go to Paris. And I'm thinking, oh, she's going to go to Paris and meet people there. Though she really went to Paris by herself.
Yes, by myself.
And
It was
had
scary.
the time of her life. And I was sitting there like, yo, like there's people really out there who can do that. And I'm just like, she's having her own eat, pray, love moment. Like,
Yeah.
so my first thought was, well, what nigga broke her beautiful heart? Because I am not going across the country by myself with all these crazy movies out there. But yes, it was the, and then I just went all the way through down her thing. And I just loved everything about her, from her hair, her personality, the way she's so positive, that she has that filthy little mouth. And then her and her mom are so cute when they drink together.
That's my best friend. My mom is my best friend. I took her to an event yesterday, and I was like introducing her. I'm like, I brought my mom. I was just like, here's my mom. Talk to her.
That's dope.
That is dope.
So yeah, it's just she's dope.
Facts.
So,
Was that your first time out the country ever?
Second time.
Second
First time I went to Tulum, and it was for my mom's birthday. I took her out there.
look at
I
that.
hear good things about Tulum.
Yeah,
Makes me wanna
it's
head out there.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like to unplug.
Yeah.
Because the service is trash.
Oh wow,
Where is it exactly? 'Cause I don't know that country.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Really?
Mexico, yeah.
Oh.
I was just watching YouTube the other day, and it was this guy, again, something on my just pops up on my search stuff, and he was just saying how the real riches are in Mexico, and I think he was in Tulum. And I was sitting there like, I didn't watch the whole video, but I was just like, yeah, Helena, don't go to Tulum. You may end up, now that you tell me the service is no good there, I'm just like, yeah, I bet it won't be.
What was the scariest part about going by yourself? Is it just the unknown of like, did you
It's
see
just the
Taken before like you went out there?
You know what? My mom was like stressing me out about that. She was like, "You saw the movie Taken?" I'm like, "Ma, okay, I get it. I get it, but like, okay, Ma,
Come
chill.
on.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than that. I'm from New York. I'm not dumb. Come on." Like,
Yeah.
it was just more. The scary part for me was just like, just the idea of just going there
Yeah.
alone. Like, I'm really just doing this. This is just me. Like, hotel. I have to figure out how to take the train, get there. Like, it was a lot.
Their subway systems their transit system super on
Beautiful.
time,
Oh,
clean.
I never took an Uber.
Really?
Train.
Oh, for real?
I took the train. It was so beautiful. Oh, holy shit. MTA, step up your game.
If they come in at 12:02, like the trains were literally never
No,
late. Like,
never late. It was
Wow.
like on time.
Even in
Oh,
rush hour.
Yes, even
Facts.
in rush hours.
Wow.
Yes.
Was it like crowded on the train, congested the way we are here, or
Yeah,
worse?
Yeah.
It is. Their seating option is a little,
Limited.
very limited.
Yeah,
but
people on that train, the trains in Paris smell better, like way better.
People have been telling me how like places like Europe are really, really clean in comparison to like New York, New Jersey. And they said I met somebody.
Let's just say that all of you know, U.S. We're not going to single out our two places like that.
Well, I'm just saying because it's closest to
I don't know
home.
how we function though. Not for
I
nothing.
really
like,
don't.
Yeah,
Because I felt the same way when I went to Cali. I was like, yo, there was not even a napkin in the street.
No,
No, you're right. When I was in Cali, it was super clean. It was very different.
Yeah.
I thought that was because I was in Rancho Cucamonga.
Oh, that's a real place.
That's a
not
real
just
place.
actual city,
That's an
yeah.
actual
Like
place.
next Friday didn't make that up.
No.
Oh, shit.
It's a real
actual
place,
place.
Rancho Cucamonga.
Sounds crazy.
That's nuts. I gotta
Honestly,
go there.
when I found out about that, no lie, like 5 years ago, that was a legit place.
I just found that, October. I was just, that's real. Okay, I'm really here.
Can you recall the first brand that reached out to you?
Paid brand? Because a lot of them, when I first started, it was free, like it was just free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Say it
I
again?
didn't start like when I first started it. I was just doing free stuff, like just free like posts and stuff like that. I didn't start getting paid like till I want to say 2016. That's when I started, and I think the first brand was Express.
Oh shit. Did you like post like something that you bought from them?
No,
or something?
actually, I'm lying. Almay was the first beauty brand, and then Express was the first clothing brand to pay me. Yeah, there you go. Like, I didn't even know. Like, they were talking about, like, budget. And, like, Almay, when they hit me with that rate, I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Like, I can work with that. I was like, I can get paid like this? Like, just for this? I was like, oh, okay. That's good. I like that. But, yeah.
That's crazy that they reached out to you. Like, I'm still in the process of this show trying to figure out how to reach out to them. But I guess gotta wait. Like,
Just wait. We tell you all the time.
Yeah, can you provide some advice for upcoming creators in terms of that?
I do. The most that I do with pitching is like hotels. Like for Paris, I pitched to a hotel and I stayed there. And the funny part about that is like when I told them my story as to why I was going to Paris, it was like, you could just post stories if you want. We don't even care if you don't post it like hotel or anything like that. Like if you post it on your stories on where you're staying, that's good enough for us.
Oh wow.
And I was like, thank you, because you know they understood my story and they were like, they loved it, so they were dope with that. So I pitched to them. Like I pitched to hotels. I just feel like when it comes to like brands and beauty, if you really want to work with them, reach out, hit them on their DMs. You never know. Like say your name. I think these are the top 3 things that you should know. Like you should do. Tell them your name. Tell them who you are. Like what's your influence, I guess. And then your mission. Why you want to work with that brand? What can you bring to the tables to that brand?
Gotcha.
And if you can do those 3 things, I can guarantee you, if you do that at least to 8 brands, at least 2 of them are gonna respond back, and that's already a start.
Word.
I'm gonna do
I
that.
like that.
You gonna reach out to a beauty brand?
No.
Oh.
Any
I'm
brand,
gonna
but
reach
it's
out
just
to
any
thank you.
any
Oh,
brand.
she makes
Hotels, cars. Like I was telling my boyfriend the other day, I'm like, you have a license. I need you to start pitching to cars because we need to, like, if we can get Kia to like give us a car for like a week, we can travel.
Word.
Right.
Okay?
That's very true.
And you're getting paid to just travel and see the U.S. Like, there's parts in the U.S. that I still haven't, like, I want to see before I, like...
And that would be a dope thing if you could get him the pitch, and then I could do a little cross-country road trip and
Yeah,
document
like,
it
shit
and
like
vlog
that. I'm
it.
like,
Fam, if I catch you in a Kia commercial next year,
That'd be dope.
That'd
let's
be
manifest
dope.
That'd be hard,
that.
though.
Yes,
Kia
let's
commercial
manifest.
2020.
Let's
Thank
go.
you. That would be dope.
I want to cut of that check though because it was birthed on this
Here we go.
podcast.
I got you.
So I have a question because you did mention your boyfriend, so I was waiting for that. As both of you are both creatives, how does that relationship function when one person is having a dry spell and the other person isn't?
We try to like motivate each other on that push. Like sometimes when he's going through his little dry spell, I'm like, all right, so just reach out to who you want to work with. Like, don't wait for them. Reach out to them. Or I'll like hit him with like some ideas for us to do in the studio because I've never done studio work. He pushed me to do studio work. I was more like, okay, here's my outfit. We'll take these photos and then that's it. He was the one like, let's do studio. Like I didn't see myself at like studio potential. And then when we got in there and I saw that what we can do, I was like, oh, this is lit. We can create some shit.
Sometimes, as a in a relationship, do you feel obligated to give your partner work or make sure that your partner has work through you?
Nah, I don't feel obligated at all. That just flows naturally. I just feel like now that he's like permanently my photographer. Like, he's permanently my photographer. So I feel like when brands reach out to me, I'm like, okay, here's my rate and here's my photographer's rate.
Nice.
Because I'm not about to, be the only
anybody,
one, you know?
Yeah.
We can all get paid. We can get paid together. We can get paid separately. But if we're working together, we're both getting paid. You know?
It seems like Brooklyn Petite, the brand, like the name was birthed out of like a dark place, like out of your heartbreak. Like you took that soul trip. That's when you got your notoriety a bit. Like, how did you feel comfortable getting into a new relationship? I'm not sure how long after you guys got into a relationship after that happened, but like, did that bad experience kind of like have you jaded?
Did I miss a story here?
Well, my current boyfriend was the one who broke my heart. Like my boyfriend now, we went through some shit.
I picked that up. Oh my god.
I'm
Yeah.
like, did I miss a
Me
story?
and CR are empaths, so
Like,
I
I
totally
wasn't
somehow
here.
I totally picked
That was
that
gonna
up.
be my question.
But that was
Yeah.
gonna be. I was about to tell you like because for some reason, you know, I don't know your story, but I know your story. Girl.
I got you.
But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is like a long time in the making. That's what. So when you was like the heartbreak, I was like, from my understanding, this guy's been around for like 15 plus years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
it's the
he's been
same
around
guy.
It's the
forever.
same guy, yeah.
Okay, rewind.
Yeah.
Can we get into specifics? What happened? Like, what happened?
I'm not gonna go into specifics.
Maybe not like hella deep, but like, was it? Okay,
He
give us a
did,
gist.
it was a thing. Like he was just trying to like be somebody else.
Do too much.
Yeah.
Everybody was growing at different roads,
So
different speeds.
with me, he's Kevin, and with his friends, he's somebody else. You know. So he played that role of being somebody else with his friend. I caught him in his lie and something. And what broke my heart was the fact that you're my best friend. Fuck boyfriend, girl. Like we've known each other for like going on 4 years, but I've known him like 2 years prior before even getting in a relationship with him. He was my best friend. Like he knew a lot about me that a lot of people didn't. Like not even shit my mother didn't even freaking know. You know, so that's what broke me, for him to do that to me as like your best friend. You don't do that.
You felt disrespected.
Yeah, he disrespected me. So and that broke me. And because you know he's such a lovable man. He was making, you know, trying to make it work. It was just too much for me. He didn't give me the space that I wanted. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm leaving. Like I booked my trip, and he was mad about it.
And when you left, when you was gone, that's when he was just like going crazy. And
he was going crazy. I didn't call him. Like I did. What was it? I think it was like in the middle of my trip. I called him. I was like, "You're probably worried sick. Just know I'm fine." So that he's not like deep in shit.
I would die.
You know? Yeah, I didn't want
that
him
to me.
Yeah,
I've been that guy.
Die.
I don't want him to like be so worried and like fuck up in his creative world, because he wasn't even shooting during that time. And I was like, money's money. Like I'm not about to stop my money just because I'm going through some shit. Like fuck all that. I'll deal with that at home. Like, but like I gotta still make my money. So I was like, you shouldn't let that get to you. But you know, people handle their stuff differently. But when I took that space, you know, it was still rocky between us. But I come from a broken home. You feel me? So it's just like, in order to get that change, be the change, you know? So I could have easily said, fuck you, and I could have just, like, left him and move on, but there's always a cycle. Who hooked that hard?
That was not me.
I wasn't gonna say nothing to you,
Yo,
but
I felt that.
I
somebody
heard
was
that
mad
shit, too.
thirsty, yo.
That was not me.
Yo,
That's just
that
I don't know.
shit.
People always tell me like you hear my go.
no, nigga, it's the audio. Like, shout out to Gotham Podcast Studio. This
shit
audio is
crisp.
crisp.
Yo, it's
crazy.
secret.
That's too Chris.
I heard every part of that goat, yo.
That shit sounded like it was in a commercial.
Word. Yo,
Yo,
should
that's that
do ASMR.
Pepsi commercial.
Word
we gotta
up.
figure out who could properly sponsor this podcast, because we have a lot of different types of alcohol and clothing. Like,
Just relax. Just hold on.
It's on the way.
Y'all should
rough.
definitely
The
reach out to
universe wants to provide.
alcohol brands. I tell you, this much are so fucking.
you know what's annoying though is like they look for like people like you, like with hella followers and a reach, right? But in my opinion, like engagements and reach are different
Oh my
things.
God! Let me tell you, when they told me my engagement was a 9.7, I was like, yes.
What does that even mean?
That means that I actually take the time and I engage with all of my followers as much as I can, whether that be in stories and comments. One of the things that I like to do at the end of my day, I like to go on my comment and I like to respond to everybody. Whatever
I think
question.
she's like one of my comments, as you know.
Yeah, I like
you
it.
was hype.
I mean,
I
I'm
like-
hyped when anybody I love or like people like her
Acknowledges
acknowledge
you, yes.
that I adore them. Yeah,
That's
I
why
feel
I ain't lie.
that's anybody though. We get hyped when somebody acknowledges our show.
You right. Shout out to y'all.
Shit. Shout out to our fans.
Because the way that they see it is like, oh, you have all these followers. She's not going to be.
and that's how it is.
But, and that's the sad truth about it. They think that because you have this amount of followers that you're not going to.
But you're a real person. You know, you're human.
Like, and especially if you have a question about my outfit or my fit and I can tell you where I got it from, of course I'm going to respond back. What's the point of what I'm doing then?
Yeah.
What's the point of it?
And I feel like a lot of people who are influencers don't realize that that's important, engaging
don't.
with your followers.
Yeah.
They
'Cause-
don't. They
'cause
think
the
it's
point of it,
they
right?
the same
That's
thing.
the
think
point.
is likes.
Because that's the same thing I do. Is like I engage with my followers, and those be the same people who come out to my events.
Yes.
Those be the same people who buy my
Yes.
merch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like every time somebody says something nice, I give them a nice
Yep.
response.
Yeah.
I make sure I read and respond to your message. I don't
I
leave
do
you
the
on
same
red.
thing. I do the
Yeah.
same
I
thing.
have
Y'all
people
gonna-
tell me
y'all-
the same thing. Like, it's weird that you responded, and I'm like, dude, I'm a regular person. I'm
Only
not
people
even
I
out
don't
here like that.
respond
Like,
to.
you know, it's
Yeah, only
weird.
people I don't respond to is people I know. It's like, bitch, I know you, girl. I'm gonna
I'll
call
talk
you
to
in
you
a
later.
minute.
Do y'all think y'all could get to a point where that's just gonna stop? Or it's just gonna be like
I was asked that. It was like, oh, what if you get to like 100K or whatever, and I'm like, then I'm gonna just hire somebody that can help me do it. Like,
But that's what happens though. You hire somebody to help, or then I feel like your real fans, your real day one fans, know that as your brand gets bigger,
it's
certain
only
things
so
are
much,
expected.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I think when you get to that level, you should have somebody managing it, but you should still have access to it.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
you're
yeah, for
obviously
sure,
not going
for
to be able
sure.
to respond to everybody,
Facts.
but still be able to, you know what I mean?
I think for certain situations like that, I feel like the person that you hire to do that, make them answer the clothing questions. Like, where did you get this? Where did you
Yeah.
get? And then when you got the ones who have like that personal,
Personal
you
drawings.
yourself, you have
Yeah.
to respond
You
back.
have to
to
stay in
it.
touch
I
in that
agree.
way.
You
yeah.
know,
I
I
agree.
feel like that's the way
agree.
they should do it.
Do you have any management of any form right now?
Nope.
Hmm.
It's just all me.
That's
I have
interesting.
been reached out for a couple, but it's just like,
It has to be a good fit.
and it's my money at the end of the day. Like, should I trust you? Like,
Yeah.
that's my money we're talking about.
Can
I
you do
feel
a better
like
job than
management-
me?
Yeah, then that's the thing.
You know
I feel
what
like
I'm saying?
management should help you in a sense. Like you're not supposed. Management invests in you. You don't invest in management.
Right.
So
I'm actually in the process of trying to like get my mom to learn it so she can fucking do it.
there
She
you
always my
go.
mom.
Keep it
My
in your
mom
family.
does.
That's
Keep
the
it in the
safest
family.
bet.
Yeah.
Shit, if I'm making, we all making money. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
my sister loves drawing and she loves doing video editings. I'm like, cool, master that and you can do my videos and get paid. Like, if I can put money in your pocket, let's work.
Yeah.
Let's
Word.
work.
And you mentioned earlier, like, Veronica and Brooklyn Petite are kind of like two separate people, right?
Yeah.
So, like, is it hard to maintain that image of Brooklyn Petite sometimes when Veronica's fucked up? Like, you kind of have to keep up with the Joneses. You kind of have to post on your story sometimes to let people know I'm still active, I'm still
Yeah.
around, still giving you a reason to follow me. So, like, is that, like, a conflict sometimes of, like, keeping up with that image of Brooklyn Petite?
No, I just feel like it's not much of a conflict for me because if me like myself Veronica is down, then I'm gonna let y'all know like, hey, listen, I'm going through some shit right now. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I'll be back. It's okay to take breaks. I'm not even if I do have deadlines. I don't care. Those deadlines can wait. My mental state comes first.
Word.
I don't care if the deadline was last week. If I don't feel good and I don't want to post it, I'm not posting it. I don't care.
I
You know?
respect
And that goes along with creating, right? You
Yeah.
have to be in a good space in order to do it. Like, you can't feel the
true.
pressure of a deadline or,
I
you know.
hate those. I hate the pressure of a deadline. Hate it.
What's, like, the one type of, I don't know what to call it, like, thing you like to represent the most? Like, is it body positivity? Is it mental health awareness? Like, is there one thing over the other that you prefer to, like,
Nah.
push forward? Is it all equal?
It's all equal. It's all equal.
How did you like conjure the confidence to like say like, yo, I'm confident in my body? Because I imagine for women, it's harder for y'all to
Oh, it is.
to come out and say like, I enjoy being this way without getting judgment.
It's such a long journey. Oh man, I would get so frustrated during that journey. Like, fuck, why do I still have this thought in my mind? You know, it's like it's that mind over matter thing, and it was just like, okay, I can't just. One, I can't afford surgery, so that's out of the question. That shouldn't even be in my. I'm not about to work 4 or 5 jobs just to get this body that I think I'm supposed to have. Like, that's out of the question. So it's like, all right, if I want to change something, cool, I can go to the gym. And if I don't want to go to the gym, then I don't have to go to the gym. This is my body, and it was more of that. I had to keep telling myself, this is my body, and I just got to fucking deal with it. Like, that's it. That's the truth of it. Like, just got to deal with it and love it and
Work with what you
enjoy
got.
it. Yeah.
I
Like,
have a question, right? So, like, with the whole body positivity, do you also try to make that a connection between males who suffer with that too? Because there are males out there who are insecure about their bodies. Is there, it's not as, in my opinion, on a society standpoint, it's not as bad as it is for women. There's way more pressure because of media and social media and stuff like that. But do you feel like you also connect to the male audience and make them feel confident about themselves? Because I know I'm a person who's insecure about my body. Like, I'm on my fitness journey right now.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
Very confident.
I
Seem
do
very
have-
confident.
he does.
Yeah.
I see the confidence there.
I do
You're
have
there.
confidence, but I also have my insecurities. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I can relate to that because it's like in certain situations, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's go to the pool, like, shirt off or not? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel you.
Yeah,
I
there
know,
are a lot
I
of guys
feel
like
you.
that, yeah.
Yeah, my boyfriend sometimes like that. I'm like, you don't take that damn shirt off. Like, nobody cares.
And it's true. Nobody gives a damn.
It took
Nobody
me years.
cares.
It took
I'm
me
judging
years
you
to
more
grow
if you
up.
go into the pool with a white beater.
Yo,
I swear that was me until I was like 20
Tank top.
something.
That don't bother me neither.
Oh,
Like, if I see-
shit, my bad.
happened?
That's so like
What
it's
happened?
white beater tank top. It's like, why did we never like? Why is that in like
Connected.
our dictionary? Like,
Yeah.
or fuck tank top. I'm sorry.
I like the fact that you said that. Yeah, that's true. Why?
No,
What's the difference?
But I said it like so like effortlessly. Like
I haven't heard that in a while.
Fuck.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah,
Wife beater.
tank top only. But yeah, do you try to like bridge the gap
Cancel.
between like your influence on the men and women, or is it mostly just women?
Well, a majority of my IG family is women, so that's where I get like the most feedback. But I have gotten a couple of messages from men where they was like, "Yo, thank you for that caption that you wrote. I can relate. Like
That's
I can
dope.
relate so much." And I'm like, "That's dope," because not a lot of people, acknowledge that men go through stuff like that. They don't think that. They think that men are just out here like, oh, I'm
So
on some
strong.
Determined.
Not
Yeah,
giving a
yeah.
fuck about it. Or,
Which
yeah.
you know, but you know that's the fucked up part about it though, because that's what society put men to think.
It's
But y'all the ones with all the real issues, to be honest.
Honestly,
like,
yo,
like no
speaking
funny
because-
shit.
It's true.
So
No, I'm gonna say
So-
like no funny shit. Like y'all,
No
y'all
funny
have the
thing.
most
A
of the
lot
most
on their
issues.
shoulder,
Like it's a lot on your
like, a
shoulder,
lot.
and I give it to y'all, especially
Oh,
black,
dude,
men
yo.
of color. It's like it's so much. How do we like to say it? It's so much to be a man of color because, but at the end of the day, your real job is only to provide and protect.
Yep.
yeah,
As a woman, we do have so much more to bear, but because you're a man of color in this messed up world that we call country that we call America, when you walk out the door, it's so much more than provide and protect. It's survival now.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
And you know it's crazy. Like I say, if social media was around a few years ago, like we would be like heavily judged. Maybe even now today, like heavily judged going to a woman, like being like, "Yo, you really inspired me. Like you helped me, like get on my shit, right?" And that's nuts. So
Why do you
Yeah.
feel like that?
that is nut. That
No, that you'll be heavily judged.
because as men, like especially black men, we're taught to be a man. Like that's always what we
Like, you
have
don't
always been
have-
taught.
it's-
Like you can't show your emotions.
can't show your
show
emotions,
affection.
yeah.
You can't
I-
be vulnerable ever.
I agree to what he's saying though, because it's like very rare that I find other males that'll praise a woman. Like I have no problem saying that a woman's my role model.
Facts.
I have no
That's
problem with
beautiful.
that.
That is.
I was
know what I'm
raised
saying?
by only
Look,
women, so like,
that's
I
what
got
I'm
no
saying.
choice.
I was raised by women. Like, yo, I'm not for nothing, not to sound sexist, but I'm more inspired by women generally more than men. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
Absolutely.
and it's funny because Will Smith was saying that it's something about the male chemistry, how we just want to please, right? It's not
Yeah.
always sexual either. It's just like you guys motivate us. We're the reason we take showers. Y'all the reason we shave, we go to the gym.
Yeah.
Y'all the reason
Yeah,
we
it's
clean
true.
our
Yeah,
house.
that's so
like
true.
At the end of
Get
the
the
day,
haircut, get the fashion.
haircut. What? We get a fade is over.
That confidence. Listen, that confidence is like low if they don't get that fade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
When
means
they get
everything
that
will work.
cut,
Mhm.
boy,
You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah, word.
I got my stunner shades on.
Nothing.
Facts. And it's different. Like it's like it's weird. Like the relationship between men have with other men that men have with like women. It's just like I don't really care what other dudes think. Like I'm chasing the validation from women.
I've learned so much from women.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
I've learned
That's
so much. Like
beautiful.
it really made me a better person, putting away my male ego and just saying, "All right, shut the fuck up and listen." You know
It's
what
okay
I'm
to
saying?
put the ego away from
It's
you
all right
know.
to put the ego
Yeah.
away.
Eliminate the ego, yo. Like I've kind of been trying to push that recently. It's
Yeah.
like it's like a poison.
Yeah.
It's hard.
People look at me weird when I say that. Kill the ego. They're like,
It
what?
it
I
is
need
hard
my
though
ego.
because it's
I be
like
having to
something
tell my
in
boyfriend
you.
that sometimes.
You
I'm
gotta
like,
kill
yo,
it.
kill the ego.
It's
Yeah,
hard
I feel
though.
it.
It's
Or
hard at
sometimes I
times.
Get the
be
crazy
like,
look
hard.
like, what?
Sometimes I look at him like, your ego is showing, baby. He's like, for real? I'm like, yeah.
Can't have
I
Well,
hate
just
that
say
whole
it.
thing about you can never kill your ego. Like your ego is there for a reason. There's a time and a place when you need to use your ego. Point blank. Period. Like it's never about killing the ego. It's about
Controlling it.
just your discernment.
Control,
When to use it. When to sit it. When to shut it up. Like when to be quiet. Like when to let it drive you. When
Yeah.
to let it silence you. So
I guess the correct saying would be don't let your ego rule you.
yeah, don't let your
Supposed
ego
to
rule
kill
you.
your
I
ego.
guess like have the balance within yourself because your ego is there for a reason. Because your ego can drive you to be great.
That's true.
I agree.
I
Yeah,
agree
definitely
too,
agree.
yeah.
That's true.
because you would be sitting there like, if everybody all your life told you wasn't shit, it's your ego's job to tell you, nah, you are the shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's so true.
But when it gets out of hand, that's when you
Yeah, and that's when you have to reel it
yeah.
in. It's just like there's a balance in everything.
You gotta have that humility.
Yeah, and you have to be humble about everything.
People love you more when you're humble.
You gotta
When
be humble,
you're the shit
gracious,
and you're
yo,
humble,
and
that makes
Genuinely
people
humble.
love you,
There's a lot of fake
yo.
humbleness out there.
Yeah,
It's a
Genuinely
lot of
humble.
fake.
You
It's a
gotta
lot
be
of fake
genuine.
humbleness.
Don't
It's
get
a
me
lot of
started.
fake
That's so funny that
get-togethers.
you said that because someone was like, "Oh, you're genuinely humble," and I'm like, "What does that mean?" They're like, "There's a lot of fake humble going around." I'm like, "Word?"
Yeah.
I didn't know because I'm genuine. I don't know.
I'm like, "Word?
Yeah.
Why?"
Yeah.
Have
What's
you-
the point, right?
Have you noticed that more? Like you've been to these events, you're around these different influencers that you might have followed in the past. Have you noticed that fake shit?
And you meet them, and it's just like, ew. Like that's my like it's like ill to me. It's like I hate. A lot of these events that I get invited to, I be skipping on them because I just hate, like, it's so high school sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I love the...
It's a popular contest.
Yeah.
You feel like
How many followers you got? Oh, I got more. Like or some shit like that. I feel that's what it's like.
It really is like that, though. It really is like that. Or it's a lot of, like, I went to a previous, I forgot what event it was. I think it was, like, the Burberry event where they had, like, all the hot people go, right? So I went to it.
I mean, it's Burberry. You better go.
Yeah, right. I went to it, and then, like, the conversations that I was hearing, it was the algorithm, or my likes are down, and I'm like, yo, y'all in a Burberry store. There's free liquor. What are you talking about right now? Like,
I'm not talking about my likes is down. Free liquor.
who
Where
gives
is
a
it?
fuck about? Because of your likes and your followers right now, you're at a Burberry event to see their latest collection. Shut up.
Yeah.
But to
And then
play,
you're privy to things like that. The early, like I would just love to have access to certain early collections. Like I love when I'm able to guess the next trend. I feel like
know
I'm
what
doing
I'm
something
saying?
great in my
Like,
life.
They over here talking about their life, and I'm like, these conversations are fucking killing me.
but to play devil's advocate, like the life of an influencer is like mad unpredictable from my perspective, right?
It is.
So you could lose all that shit overnight. Like,
Word.
do you,
Well, today didn't Instagram go like crazy for like
yeah.
a few
Yeah,
yeah,
hours?
this shit was
right?
down.
Yeah.
I was trying to post it. I wasn't even here. It wasn't even working. But like, I mean, you're not doing it full time. But like, when you kind of were for that brief period, did you ever think about that? Like, this shit could go away, and I would
Oh
have to
yeah, all
figure
the
it
time.
out.
All the time. I would think about it all the time, and I was like, well, then I get a job. Like, what?
Do you feel like that keeps you grounded?
But instead of getting a job, why not try to find a way to stay on top of that? Like, figure out the next best thing. Somebody was just telling me like how pretty soon radio and stuff that's gonna go obsolete, and we have to find a way to get in front of it. I'm not gonna say never. I won't say like the next.
Podcasts are in front of
Radio's been
radio.
around. Radio's been around since
No, I'm,
the
like I
50s,
said, I would never
40s.
say
Yeah.
never. I'm not gonna say like the next 15 years, but eventually everything all good things come to an end.
Yeah.
So
Look at MySpace.
yeah,
That's
that shit was
different,
good.
yeah.
Where
Yo,
is
Rest
Tom?
in peace, Tom.
Where is
that shit was the shit.
Tom rich as hell. He
When's
probably
We're
the
on an
last time?
island.
When's the
Yeah.
last time anybody really logged onto their Facebook? I haven't logged into Facebook like
I'm
in
on-
2 years,
I'm not
maybe.
gonna lie.
A
I'm
lot
on
of
Facebook
people
every
do
day.
though.
I
It's just
love
weird.
Facebook.
I don't
have a
understand
Facebook-
it, but a lot of
I
people
have
still
a
do. Yeah.
Facebook because the only way you can do like
I have
a
one,
business
yeah.
page on IG, you have to have a Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I have it, but there's zero engagement.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
That
there's,
shit.
so everything. Whether you may still have it on your phone, but it will die out. So
Yeah.
how about like we just find a way to stay on top of the wave or reinvent the next wave?
I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
strike me as
Because
like
this is technology, so it's going to be rolling all the time
Yeah.
and changing and evolving.
Just
That
being
is
ahead of the
true.
curve. Yeah.
Like Facebook went
guess.
from just college students only
Yeah.
to the whole world.
World, yeah.
But would you rather like try your hardest to keep your influencer shit going, or have like a consistent check coming in every 2 weeks, every week?
I mean, at this, for some people, for certain influencers, it's different. It's either about loving the passion and you're doing what you actually really love in life,
Yeah.
or you're just trying. It's like, what's the guy, Bust Down Tatiana? He said
Blueface.
Blueface. He said it. I'm not a fucking
Never
rapper.
seen him with his pants up. Shit's always sagging.
But he said, I'm not a rapper. I just want to make money,
Yeah.
and that's what he did. He
And he did
came out
it,
and he
yeah.
did it. So you have people,
Shade
you
got
have
party on
influencers
it.
like,
That's something.
I don't really like this shit. I just found a way to make money. Then you got people who
do it full time and
really
love
love what
it.
they do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and this is their passion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like as this podcast grows, like how will we all like be as like we became like influencers, like people of like notoriety, like people who give a fuck about.
I
what
didn't
we're
even think
doing?
about it in that sense at all.
Have you thought about it? Like
Not at all.
no? I'm stunned.
You know what I feel like? I feel like one day, like we're gonna like hear something like on TV or something. They're gonna talk about introverted intuition. We're all gonna be caught off guard because we're so focused on the show and just making good content.
Bro.
I feel like that's what's gonna happen. Just like how we got the top 3 vote or whatever.
That shit was
It is
nuts.
gonna happen.
We weren't
It is
focused.
gonna
We
happen.
just
Yeah.
really come in
And
here
I
and
feel
just
like
have
that's
fun.
what we just have to keep on doing. It's
I
not
agree.
about don't watch the numbers.
watch the
just
numbers.
keep
No,
creating the
just
content
keep- yo,
Yeah.
and love
Don't.
stand by the content.
Yeah.
Facts, yeah.
Fall in love with the content, not the numbers.
Gotta reel you
There
in,
you
Jeff,
go.
every now and then. Like,
There you
yo,
go.
What is Jeff always about? Integrity.
integrity.
Stop.
Don't
Stand by your
forget the
integrity.
integrity.
Stop focusing on me.
All
We
right,
have a
Ned?
guest. We're interviewing the guest right now. Don't focus on me.
Ah, the
Drink-
spotlight's on you.
Literally, right?
Light on him.
So you also push like the whole mental health thing. You're an
Yes.
advocate for that. Like this show was birthed out of like my depression. And I wanted to be an escape for other people. The way podcasts were for me when I was dealing with my depression. Well, I still am, but like when I was dealing with it very heavily. What are your experiences like with depression? And what do you do nowadays? What did you do before to get through it?
When I got my first depression, like when I was like in a deep depression, I was 16 years old. It was a lot going on family wise, like just a lot going on, and I was like the oldest, so a lot fell on I was like the man of the house, basically, you know, like a lot fell on my shoulder. And at the time, my grandmother was sick also, and it was just so much going on to me. It was like, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to, like, curtains, don't even put them things up. Like, I wanted to stay, like, in the dark. I was, like, in bed. I had no, like, passion to do anything. Like, it put me in the hospital, so I had to go to the hospital. I was hospitalized because I wasn't getting no liquids or nothing. So, like, it was like a dry spell, basically. Like, I was, like, really, like,
Dehydrated.
I was hallucinating, like, all that. So, it was rough. And when I got out of that and I was like, I want to do therapy, my family looked at me and they're like, you're not crazy. And they just that was the conversation. That's it. Like I sat my grandmother, my mom down. My mom knew, but my mom, she's like such a mama's girl. So like whatever like my grandmother says, it's just like, okay, grandma said that. You know, which I respect. You know, I get it. I totally get it. I don't shame her or like say anything bad about that. Like I totally get her reasoning for it. But it was like when I spoke about it, it was just like, you're not crazy, so you're not going. That's it.
Wow.
And it
End
wasn't
of discussion.
And they didn't even know. You know what the funny part is? They didn't even know that insurance covered it. They thought it was just straight cash. So it was like, we can't afford that.
Yeah.
So and then the second time that I got it, it was right after college. Like I graduated, real world hit. Like I wasn't getting my job. I was 22. I was drinking a lot. Like it was just so much, and I fell in another depression. But this one, you know, I didn't really get hospitalized because I was already like I've been through it already. So like I knew what to not, you know, to do and what not to do. But then at that time, I looked at my mom and I was like, listen, I'm a grown woman now. I got my own insurance. I'm doing this therapy.
Yeah.
And it's so
I don't
good
need your
that you took
permission
that
to send
step.
I
Yeah.
don't need your permission.
It's
I'm
so
not,
important you took that step, bro.
Yeah, like
proud of that.
I'm not gonna sit y'all down again to talk about it because I already know what grandma's gonna think. I already know what Theo's gonna think. I don't care what they think. I need this shit, so I'm gonna do it because I did my own research, and I think one of that's so important in like an African and like the Latin community as well. It's like it's not a thing. It's not a thing to do because
At all.
they looked at it as like, oh, you're crazy, but no, it's so important.
Yeah.
Because there's things that I can't talk to you because I already know what you're gonna say and I already know what you're gonna think.
Can I ask you this though? Like my perception of therapy was like super warped when I first like started thinking about investing into it. I felt like I was paying someone to care. Did you ever feel like that?
Oh
Or
yeah.
think about that?
Oh, when I first did it, I was so upset. I was so upset because she wanted to go like so deep into and I was just like, that's not why I'm here. I was wanting. So my thing was when I first went to it, it was like, why am I depressed? Like I don't want to be depressed. Get this shit away from me. Like I don't want it.
Yeah.
I need to do this because apparently
To shake it off in a sense, yeah.
So I thought it was just like, I thought it was like, you know, cancer, you get chemotherapy, it goes away. It was like something like that for me.
Yeah.
So when she wanted to go more in depth with things, I'm like, you're pissing me off. Like you're getting me mad. Like I'm paying you to hear me out. Hear me out and tell me what I need to do.
Yeah.
So it was more of that.
You had made the connection of those deep issues.
Yeah. I didn't. So it was, and honestly, getting a therapist is hard work because you have to get that therapist that you click with, that understands. Like my first therapist that I had, she didn't understand me. Like when I would complain about like my creativity of creating content, she just didn't understand that shit. And I'm like, okay, I need a therapist that like understands the creative world and like like all of that in mixed, you know? Like I need a therapist that understands that, not somebody who thinks like a 9 to 5 is just it, you know?
I think that's so crucial, and I give you mad props for that, because I just found a therapist that I'm about to start going to, because I deal with bipolar disorder, manic depression. And, like, one of the biggest things that you just said is so true. Like, you got to find one that you can connect with.
Yeah.
Because I was institutionalized 3 times, right? Oh. And every time they tried to get me to go to an outpatient program, and it'd be like this group therapy thing with people I can't relate to. These are people in their, like, 40s and 50s that are not, you know, going through the same things that I'm going through. They're a different ethnic group and everything. So it was just, like, hard to actually open up. As a matter of fact, it's a whole bunch of people in one room. I'm not going to talk about my deepest, darkest things. So recently I did find a therapist that I'm about to start going to, and like I'm really excited, honestly.
And we've talked about that on the show. You have to like shop around. As weird as it sounds, you have to shop around and find somebody that you click with, somebody that you feel like you can open up to. Because if not, then it's no point.
And you know what's so crazy? She was referred to me by my main engineer, because he goes to her for therapy, and that's my boy Solo. Yeah, like he recommended her.
I'm thinking about getting back into it. Like I've kind of like been like kind of slowly dialing back to like a darker place, but like it's just like I have so much to be excited about, so I'm just kind of just been using this as therapy.
But it's hard sometimes because it can creep up on you. You know, you can think you're in a good place, and all of a sudden something will hit you, and it's like, whoa, where the fuck did this come from? I thought I was overcoming it, but it really is about a maintenance.
Yeah, that happened to me in 2016. I felt the depression coming and so, and I'm like, yo, okay,
you can feel it.
I got
it's like a fit,
and it was at a point in my life too where it was just like I moved out, I'm in my new crib, I got this job promotion, my Instagram is kicking off, I'm getting paid gigs here. Why the fuck do I feel like this?
And that's the thing. When so many things are going right, and then you're like, why the fuck do I feel like this? Knowing that I have no reason to be upset. I have no reason to be down when all these things are happening, and then that just makes you feel worse.
Yes. And not for nothing.
Behavior, because it feels like when you so used to having your whole world never go right and everything goes right, you start punishing yourself, and you have to get into that mentality like, oh, do I deserve this? Am I deserving of this? Not realize you are very deserving of it, but your mind tells you something else.
It's so funny you said deserving, because that's exactly how I felt when they voted us number 3 on that list. I was so happy, but I was just like, yo, is this even? Like,
are you deserving of it? Like, do you deserve it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Are we worthy of this?
Like, a resounding yes, you deserved it.
But
it was weird as fuck.
I get that. Yeah, I get
because that was like the first like stat we could really add to the resume of the show. Like, yo, we were voted number 3 for this, and it's like.
Real quick, right? How you were just saying how like sometimes you feel depressed or like people have anxiety and there's like no reason for it. Like I was talking to my doctor and she was saying that's because we got to look at mental health the same way we look at diabetes.
Yes.
The same way you look at high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Yes. It is biological and it's chemical. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to figure out what works for you to get that thought and that whatever that you're going through out of your system. Like figure out what it is you need to do.
And it's maintenance. It's not something that is a quick. It's not gonna. I feel like it's not something that just disappears. I feel like it's something you do deal with for your lifetime.
You have to cope with. I
hate to be the one, like, I'm not a Bible thumper like that. Far from a fucking Bible thumper. But, you know, like, I hear y'all talking and everything, and maybe because I'm in, like, a very dark place, but I live in my dark place. I love my dark place. But it seems like a lot of y'all got fucking demons and shit that y'all just need to put in control. No funny shit.
What do you mean by that?
When you said, what was your just statement when you was like, we have to look at mental health illness as we look at diabetes, and stuff like that, of a chemical imbalance and stuff. But sometimes it's not a chemical imbalance. Sometimes it's a spiritual imbalance.
Okay,
I agree with that.
I agree. Yeah. I agree too.
It can be. Definitely.
I'm just thinking.
Like there are some people who really do have legit chemical imbalances, but there are also some people who have legit demons.
I think it depends on the individual. There's
I think it's like
there's nothing across the board.
It's a case by case thing. Like everybody's different. It's definitely never across the board. I feel like every person who suffers from mental health illness is a case by case. It's like nobody suffers from the same problem.
Nope.
And what works for one may not necessarily work for you.
Yeah,
you know?
Just be so like that's what I love to say like on my Instagram too. I'm just like don't look for the answers from me because I can't give you that. Like my journey is my journey, and this is what I did to help me. If you want to try it, and maybe hopefully that could work for you, but if it doesn't, you got to figure out what does.
Keep going.
I can't give you the answers. You really have to figure it out on your own because. When I had to look for it myself. Nobody had the answers for me, you know?
I always feel like some depression, you know, comes from childhood traumas that go unhealed.
Oh, yeah, so many.
Yeah, a lot of them.
It's like it's just traumas that...
I talk about
especially
it on my
in your
Instagram
adult.
Too. Yeah, like...
It's just traumas that go unhealed.
Growing up, like, again, grew up poor family. You know, my father left. I was molested. You know, like it was so much shit that was happening, and you know, I'm 6'7". What the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody's telling that you have like you probably grew up in a family. I hate that right now. I can't do this. You probably grew up in a family where everything was always hush, 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 hush. They always probably told you, oh no, don't sit on Uncle Riley's lap, but never told you why you don't sit on Uncle Riley's lap. It was just like then you, as a child, you was probably growing up like, well, is it something I did? Is it my fault? Not really. It's not your fault.
It's not.
Men just can't control themselves sometimes.
And you know what's funny is that when I did bring it up, you know, and I told my, like, I didn't tell my mom because I knew my mom would always believe me. But like when I told my aunt and my aunt found out about it, she was just like, well, what were you doing? And I'm like, being a kid.
Because that's something probably somebody told her, like, oh, it was your fault. You was doing this. You did that. And we don't realize, like, that shit just trickles down to you. It's like, it's really learned behavior. There was a whole study about these rats. And I think some mothers, they, like, tase with the tasers. And when the baby was born, they just had a fear of the taser. Before he even got next to them, they never was tasered before, but they had a fear of it already.
Rats?
Rats. This is a study in rats compared to another mother of rats. Was like the smell of roses or something. It was something when the kids was born, they knew that smell was a comforting smell because of with the mother. So it goes right back down.
Social behavior of things,
I mean, I agree with everything everyone has said. It's just it really is a never-ending battle. Like it's like it's like. I really think as I'm getting older, I'm 27. Like I just think about like having kids. Like I mean, I feel like depression is inescapable, but like I don't want my future kids to like inherit like what I had to go through. Like
I feel like
I really fear that.
I get that, right? I definitely get that. I understand, but at the same time, I feel like you're going through what you're going through. So if you do have kids, you know how to help them. You'll be that person who can understand them.
You'll have an open dialogue.
I kind of think it's also
kind
of like a genetic thing as well.
It is genetic.
It can be.
It is genetic. I think it's
could just be inherited no matter what. Like
Devil's advocate. What's that Jay-Z line? The daughter will have to pay for the sins of the father. Correct your behavior before your children come.
Shout out to Hove.
Triangle
Brooklyn.
up.
Brooklyn. So as a woman of color in the influencer industry, the body positive industry, like what are some struggles you have faced because of that fact that you are a woman of color, or have you?
It's when they want me to be like they're 1% diverse. I feel like I struggle with that all the time because it's just like it goes back to like what I said earlier. It's like I see why you're reaching out to me, but I can't be that person. Like I really can't.
Gulping. Hey, yo. That shit sounded like it was refreshing. Like she was about to say.
Y'all need to pitch to some alcohol brands and sell
Yes,
yo, fuck that. Yo,
yes.
Simply Orange, yo. Yo, what's up, yo? Sponsor available, please. Let's go.
Sponsored by Rainy Laney.
Like, they need me to swallow every time
I'm emailing Simply Orange tonight, bro. That us. That us.
We love your juices. They're fabulous.
Word. Gulping away and shit.
Shut up. I don't know why this is happening to me.
Like
you don't know why you're gulping? Like,
Oh my god.
Because it's delicious.
don't act like you mad hype next to like someone you're a fan of. You mad hype right now. I see it in your face.
So are you.
I'm hype. Yo, you are great. Yo, you're like,
Coco.
yo.
Thank you.
I'm trying to put me on the last two. I'm hype. Yo, like, yo, you're great for real. Like,
Thank you.
but did you actually answer?
Don't have a crush on my crush, okay? Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to your question.
Yeah, did you answer? Did we like run off from the question?
Yeah, we did. She gulped. That's why.
Right?
Gulping ass. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like one of the struggles that I have too is that they see, for example, like bikini pics. Like I love taking bikini pics. Like I worked hard for this body. Like I'm gonna fund my 2Bs. So like when I get reached out by brands, they just assume, oh, we're just gonna give you these bikinis just cause, and it's just like, no. Like no, I'm not just gonna throw this bikini just cause. Like, do you have a size bigger than large? Do you have colors that actually work with like people my color that are darker? You know, like. It's more than just throwing a bikini on. That's what the problem is. They think that you just throw these clothes on and you take these photos.
We're gonna take half your following and they're gonna buy our stuff.
Like no, it's a deeper connection for me. Sorry, and they hate it because there's a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of per my last email. It's a lot of that.
My last email.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. So I feel like that's another struggle that I have.
What would you say is like the best part about being an influencer? Is it that the fan base, or is it the access to different brands maybe you've admired when you were a kid?
I like the fact that I can connect with everyone. I love that. Like, fuck the money, like, fuck all that. The fact that I can actually, if I'm going through something and I bring it up and somebody can relate to it and we can actually like have this conversation, I love it. I love it. The other day, there was this girl, she hit me up and she was like, I saw in your last post that you posted about depression. I feel like I'm going through something like that. You probably won't see this, but if you do, you know, like, what should I do? And I saw that and I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I can't tell you what to do. But when I was feeling that way, I know exactly how you feel. This is what I did. It's up to you if you want to do it that same way. And if you do, let me know what happens. And she did. She reached out to me and she was like, thank you. Thank you for that. And I was like, she said that she feels a little bit better. She's still working on it, but she says she feels better than what she did when she sent that DM. So I'm like, well, we're making progress, and I like that.
It's all about making a difference, I feel like.
It is. I feel like people think, oh, Instagram, money. I mean, you could, but then, like, look at that girl. She had 2 million followers and she couldn't even sell 36 items.
I saw that.
Oh yeah, I saw
Yo, she
that.
was sick too. Yeah,
She
like,
was
But
sick.
she got 38 likes on that photo that she posted about talking about her brand.
But that's my thing.
Shout out
2 million followers, 36 likes, and this is what I always tell people. It's never about the following. You have
It's the engagement.
it's the
Can't be,
engagement
yeah.
because it's like you can have 20,000 followers, but if you only averaging 13 likes, then there's a problem
there's
here.
a problem.
There's a
You're
disconnect.
buying-
There's
she
a
bought them
disconnect.
shits. Shorty bought them followers,
Yeah,
yo.
she did, and that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
problem.
She paid a
yeah.
G for 2 million followers.
And I tell girls all
cornball.
the time, they're just like, oh, how can I do it? I was like, listen, if you think you're going into Instagram just to make money, you're already onto a bad start.
Yeah.
Or just to build a following. Like if you want to, if you have something you want to share, you just want to like be yourself, then fine. It's all like more the merrier.
I tell people all the time, I was like, if you want to sell some shit, then you work on your brand and figure
Yes.
out how you can sell that. But if you want to
Reach your demographic.
yeah, if you want to like be the influencer thing that they got going on, you need to figure out what your story is, and you need to know if that can relate to everybody else.
Right.
Because if your thing is just getting mommy and daddy money, and you're just out shopping with your friends, who can relate to that?
Yeah.
I can do that too. I mean, I can't probably buy that Gucci bag, but shit, I can go to Forever 21 to do that with my friends. Like
Yeah.
It's true.
like, well, how can I relate to that? And that's the problem. I feel like if you can't relate to what you're trying to say, that like if people can't relate to what you're trying to say, then figure out a different route. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I respect influencers that actually influence people to change their lives for the better and actually, leave a piece of their positivity with that person. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because when I'm on Instagram, like, I really do, like, especially, like, people in their fitness journey or whatever, like, I'll shout them out and I'll, like, give them a like and a comment and I'll just be like, yo, like, I really respect your grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do that all the time, like, just off the strength, because I appreciate the people who are on Instagram that motivate me to make my real life better. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some people who will perceive it differently, and they'll feel like they're comparing their lives to what they see on Instagram. They're not as good or whatever. They get discouraged or they get depressed because there's studies that say, social media increases depression and anxiety.
It does.
And I think it does.
It does.
But I also think it
Yeah.
depends
But it's
on...
up to you.
Yes, it's up to you.
If
And
that's
it's
the
also
case,
up to the
it's
individual.
But like,
It's up to you.
If that's the
I
case,
agree.
yeah.
I feel
Watch
like
who
I
you follow.
agree.
when you
It's
get
up to you.
when you get a certain amount of followers, I feel like it becomes to a point where it does not up to you anymore.
It is up to you. It's
I feel like you
always
feel
up
like,
to
like
you.
that pressure is just like
It's what
it takes
pressure?
over.
It's in your
Peer
head.
To maintain
pressure?
that image of
It's
What
like
in your
image?
head. It's in your
when
head.
you get a certain
What
amount of
image?
followers,
What image?
you get an image of whoever's following
What
you.
image? Huh?
I'm on
Yeah,
your
what
live
image?
right now.
Because I'm so
Yo.
confused. There's no image. The only image is theirs is
The one
whatever
you
you put
create.
out there.
Yeah,
The
you
perception.
Exactly. So
but
what-
that's your doing. So you can't get upset of the life
that
you
shit.
created.
No, but so she's being genuinely herself, right? So to any followers that she's had prior to the new ones, like that's who she is. So to the new ones coming on, like if she's not that way every day, that may be like, okay, so what's good with her? Like,
Okay, but this
so
is
you
what
got to
people-
kind of maintain who you are.
I
like,
see what you're saying. So, like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. I know what he's saying. So, basically, he's saying that because, like, I'm this genuine person. What if I'm not one day, right? And a newbie comes in.
And this is what
that's the
Cream
thing,
Rihanna
is it?
said. I am not your goddamn role model.
Yes.
you are though, like whether
I'm
you want it
not.
or
I'm
not,
not.
whether
I'm
you,
But I'm not.
That's what you become.
If you choose to put me in, and I get that too, because I battle with that when we have certain celebrities. It's like on some level you do have a unconscious, subconscious consciousness to have effective change and be that beacon for your community.
Yeah.
But you are human. And this is where people go wrong. As much as I have a light, I probably got a goddamn dark. Do not fault me when I want to sit down and be in low vibes compared to when I only want to be high vibes. Like, you have to give me a chance to be both.
I do agree
I'm
with
only speaking
that.
about the people who have nothing. I'm only speaking about the people who have nothing else but this, who have nothing else than social media.
It's them
That's
too,
not authentic.
because they're still human.
Yeah.
I feel like
I feel like they become less than that
I
when
don't
they
think- I
obsess
don't-
over that.
like,
For
I
the
don't see
people like
myself-
James Charles and those rag bags who
Oh,
do it to
gosh,
themselves,
yes.
like, I don't give a fuck about
I
your
don't know who that
like.
is.
good. You don't
Don't
need
worry
to
about
Yeah,
it.
you don't want to
need
know, like you don't.
Yeah,
but
don't worry about it.
that
The
those
beauty
are
community
influencers. Yeah,
is-
those are influencers. You be like, okay, like nobody gives a damn about your sad day, your up day, because you're just fake and full of shit, and you
Yeah.
really came into this just for the money.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to be in tune with that. For example, like going with James Charles. He put himself in that platform, right? He knew that getting all that beauty followers and all that likes and
And he does
everything-
horrible makeup, so I don't know what's wrong with you
Bruh.
girls
Listen.
who was
But I
liking
feel
the
like-
shit.
I don't know what y'all was
Because
thinking.
you're doing that, you
Looking
know
like a ghost.
people are gonna look at you as a role model. So whatever you do, you gotta deal with the consequences.
It's very
of it.
true.
That's what I'm saying. So I feel like it. I don't like to think that I'm a role model to people, but I know that I am.
Yeah.
But if you choose me to be your role model, you gotta accept all of me, baby. Like you can't.
And
just
no, I'm
accept-
human.
Yeah, you just can't accept the fact that I throw on fly outfits and I post it on Instagram. If I'm feeling
Stunt.
depressed and I don't wanna like be on IG and I say fuck IG and I don't wanna do this, accept that because that's how I feel.
Word.
Like I'm being me. Like this is and I've expressed my hate for Instagram for the longest. Like I'm going on. Listen, after I'm done with these campaigns, I'm deleting the.
I definitely have a love hate with it. Yeah.
I'm deleting it for a month because I need to get back into my creativity and just do it for me. Like, I hate the fact that I have to be like my insights or if a brand. One of the things that I hate from brands is that they ask for your insights, like your impressions and stuff like that. I hate that shit.
Because it boils down to the money for them.
Yeah, but I hate it. Don't ask me that. Like you know what I do. If you follow me like you say you do in these emails that you say, then you know that my engagement is out of the roof. I don't need to show you my numbers. Fuck the numbers. I take the time and actually get to talk to my family. That's all you really need at the end of the day. If you want me to sell your products, I gotta be able to actually test
Love your products.
Like I really gotta test your products, and that's what I hate with the skincare. I love skincare, but I hate working with skincare brands. Hate it.
But I love when you do your post about which skincare things
Yes,
she
when
uses.
are we going to have more YouTubes?
Yeah, so again, when I take my break for in August, I want to revamp my whole blog, my website. I just want to get in back to how I started because I had a website, and then Instagram just went through the roof.
Yeah.
It took over. And
Get back to the basics of you.
Yes. So once I take that space for that creative space that I need, when I come back, it's over.
Yeah, I was
Well, I
instantly
look
hooked to
forward
the
to it.
videos just because your authenticity reads through.
it's over.
I follow a lot of people and I'll check in here and there and watch a little how to whatever, but something about yours is just
Yeah, I believe
this
it's-
is me, this is who I am. I'm not feeling it today, but I'm still going to talk about whatever. That's very
Yeah.
it reaches
You
people.
and Keela Walker. I swear I don't know how to say it. Kayla Walker, Keela V, but it's you two that I follow. You must. I could watch out all day and just
yeah.
I love that. Thank you.
She in New York? I'm gonna email her.
She's
Get
in
on
New
the
York
show.
too. Yeah.
I'm gonna get on the show to make you happy.
Get
for
on
you.
that.
No. That's you gotta wait for that because I have to have a whole line of questions because she's really one of those girls. She has a whole platform, currency conversations.
Word.
So it's just you're dope, she's dope, but everybody's dope in their own right. So even though I wasn't really ready to meet you today, it's just we're not gonna rush. No more rushing.
You're really a stan.
Oh my God.
This is okay. Again, when I like somebody, when I see their
I'm the
content,
same way.
Yeah.
I like their content. There's some people who push you to be better. Brooklyn Petite is one of those people. When I first saw her profile, I was just you know what? And I'm not trying to belittle you in any way, but it's just if she can do this and have so much strength and so much power, and I'm just so much love for herself, anybody, I can do this too. And I'm not saying anybody can do it, but just I can also follow my dreams. We have totally different dreams, but it's just she gives me the drive to keep pushing and keep going.
Amazing.
By the way,
inspiring.
I don't think anybody could do what you do or what we do. You got to have personality, and I think
Yes.
that's what really your selling point is. Your personality is super amazing and accepting and It's real.
She was in Paris dancing by herself at the club, okay?
I was.
By the way, like, you make me want to take a solo trip. I've been plotting on this solo Japan trip.
What's your next solo trip?
I'm planning on going. I want to do something like US wise. So I probably either Atlanta or because I'm dying to go to Atlanta. I need to go to a strip club so bad.
All the good ones.
That's the place to go.
Yo, that's the place to
dope as hell.
go. Or either Houston or Dallas, Texas. Like those. Like
I say go to Houston. Let's go see Meg. Go drive the boat. What do you ride the boat? Drive the boat.
I would even do New Orleans too because I
definitely want to.
I heard the food is so good out there.
The food,
yeah. I would say go to New Orleans, bring a camera, and do a whole vlogging and just about the food experience alone.
I want to do it so bad. So like my next, I'm thinking about like those locations, but it's gonna happen soon.
You're gonna revamp like your creative interests in your YouTube channel. Like, what are some other things you like to do? Like, do you like to write? Or?
I love writing. That is my like.
I felt that. I didn't even know that.
I love writing. That's
why
my captions.
Empath, right?
That's why my captions be dumb long sometimes because I just love writing. Like I love that's my form of like if I can't say it, but I can just write it. So you know, like I love writing. Sometimes I wake up and I just need to like write.
Is it like poetry or is it just whatever's on your mind?
Whatever's on my mind. Like I like to reread like some of the shit that I write, and I'm like, bitch, you make no sense, but I get it. Like you know, but it's like. I love writing. Whatever's on my mind, like I just write it out, and it's not like full paragraph form or anything. It's just like a bunch of shit, like all over the pages. Like if it's a full on run, like a run on sentence that I'm thinking, then I'll write it out, you know. But like it's a lot of shit, like all over the place.
Will you write a book one day? You think is that on your journey?
Yeah, it is. I want that to be like my 40th birthday to myself.
40th birthday?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Because I need that experience, you know?
This is a completely, like, personal question. Like, I'm writing a book, and basically the idea of the book is each chapter is a word. It's one word, and it'll have, like, the actual definition of the word, my personal definition, and then my experiences or thoughts of that word. So I was wondering if you could give me one word that describes you the best that I could possibly use for my book going forward. If you could come up with one.
Worthy. Yeah. Because I grew up thinking that I wasn't. Like, I wasn't. I grew up from the project, so project kid, you ain't nothing. You're not going nowhere.
You're never gonna leave.
You're never gonna leave. Like,
but I left, bitch. Ha.
Right, you know. So it's like, I had to keep repeating that word to myself to believe it, because it was a lot where I would be at that top of the ladder, and I got scared because no good shit ever comes to me, and then I pull myself back down, and I'm back to square one, because I didn't have the idea that I didn't think I was worthy of it. But I am. I'm fucking worthy of it. Like, I deserve, like, I love that word. Like, I say it all the time.
What, like, developed that sense of, like, worthiness? Was it, like, the success you were seeing from, like, your energy? Or was it just maybe, I don't know. What was it, like, exactly?
It was just
the
like,
benefits?
When I got, like, I feel like for my solo power, I feel like my solo trip, like, I had to, like, I realized that I was just like, okay, I'm worthy of the shit that I'm receiving right now because I worked hard.
Say that again.
I'm worthy of the shit that I'm receiving right now because, you know.
No, because people don't realize that is very true. Like people will sit here and block their own blessings because they don't feel like they're worthy of their blessings.
Stop talking to me.
But I tell you this all the time. But it's very true. Like, you have to stop speaking negative about what you want in life.
Like, okay, we see Rihanna got Fenty, right? We applaud her for doing that. Why can't we give that same energy?
I have a question for you with that because, you know, she has the Fenty line, but I'm still a little confused by that whole line of Fenty. Is that her line or is she backed by Louis Vuitton? They invested. So is that the only reason why she's able to mark her prices at $675 for shoes? Because I felt like because she's Rihanna, she could be her own fashion powerhouse. But somebody told me I was bugging.
She could definitely be, but it's just more of the money of it. It's just like if she wants that good, I guess like she didn't have the money for it. I guess I don't know how that works because I feel like, bitch, you Rihanna.
Well, maybe she didn't want to use her own money.
I don't feel that way. I still feel that way. I'm like, you're Rihanna. Like, why do we have to?
But I feel like she's just going and like it's for also that sense of security. So like, what if the line doesn't?
Do well. But it's Rihanna.
It is Rihanna. But at the end of the day, you still have to like think of it like, should I go full blown in this and invest all this off my own money? Because I feel like and then it fucks up and then fuck.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, name or no name, everything. Okay, so this is my intention, like how I feel about fashion and shoes and everything. Every brand copies mimics off each other.
Oh, yeah.
So you have your high end and then you have your medium end and you have your low end. Low end copies off of medium end, medium copies off of high end.
No one's original.
Facts.
Nobody's kind of original. Now, what takes place now is the materials that are used.
Yeah.
That's the
High end will
difference.
fucking use a real snake, and they'll
Yeah.
use they'll go out there in Amazon and kill 30 snakes to make one shoe.
Yes,
Heard you.
exactly.
They'll go out and kill an anaconda
Facts.
and use that for a shirt.
They'll
Got it.
kill 7 anacondas for one logo on a shirt.
Them niggas is
Okay,
crazy. Got it.
compared to medium end, they'll go to the highest material that kind of looks
Yeah.
like that fabric, that looks like that animal, and use that and give you that shoe. Change it a little bit, mark it down in price, and you got low end. They're gonna go right to the wholesale spot. Get the material, make the same shoe. The heel may fall off. Steve Madden.
yes, Aldo too.
Steve fucking Madden.
Aldo too.
The heel will fall off that shit.
Both of them reached out to me, and I hit a big fat no
No.
for both of them. I was like, nah.
No. Aldo's shoes so goddamn hard. You love them. They
Yeah.
so cute, but they ain't so hard.
as hell.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing comfortable about
No.
a damn Aldo shoe.
Ain't
I'll tell you that.
nothing.
The struggle.
so.
Why do y'all wear heels? Why do women wear heels? I've never seen a woman walk in a straight line while wearing heels. It seems like so uncomfortable. It seems like
I
so
do
You exaggerating,
stressful.
number one.
I've never seen it in my
Exaggerating,
life.
number one.
It's a lot in Midtown. You see a lot of that in Midtown. But
I'm
you
just
see,
telling y'all
Especially
my
when they get up for
experience.
work and they be out there like
Yeah.
creeping, crawling with them
Yeah.
shoes on. Yes.
Because they
just
try
feel
to
like-
walk in these fucking high ass heels. You can't walk in shoes. You meant to like sit down,
Like
look
red
pretty,
bottoms
cross your
is
legs,
not
lay
made-
down,
Yeah.
and keep it moving.
Put some
New York
Nikes-
streets are not
That's
made
it.
for
Put
six
some
feet.
Nikes on and let's go.
The
Not
same thing,
even
with,
heels
the
at
same
home,
thing with
like-
high-end designer sneakers. Them things is not made to walk in up the
They
block. They're
are.
just made
Yeah.
to
To look
drive where
good.
you gotta go, be cute, all
Damn,
that.
that's true.
I have a
Wow,
pair of
that's
red
true.
bottoms. I wore them never. I wore them in the house, walked around, and I was just like, well, I don't know where I'm going in these.
I'm saying.
Like
what
the
y'all
day I
doing?
walk in these, and somebody got to drive me, pick me up, walk me to
Oh
the
my.
door.
It's that
And
bad.
I'm honestly with
It's not that
They're
it's
not meant
that-
to walk in.
It's not that it's
They're
not
not.
that bad. Like I can walk in them, but I do not want to walk no more than 3-5 steps in them.
They're
That's
I call
every
them the
20
photo-
minutes. You
I
know what I'm
call
trying to
them
say?
the
Like-
photo
Yeah.
shoes. Those are the photo shoes. Those
They are.
You put them on, you take a cute flick. But
They not for comfort.
honestly, I'm blessed to have wifey because them red bottoms do not fit my ass.
I was again. Thank you to my best friend because it was my birthday gift when I was 30. Because I wouldn't have bought them for myself. I wouldn't have.
Heard you. So you call your followers your family. So that means you've seen the positive things they say about you. But I'm sure maybe I'm not sure.
I
But
get
like
trolls.
the negative, like do you pay attention to that? How does that affect your consciousness?
In the beginning, when I first started with my body positivity journey, yeah, I got a lot of trolls. I got a lot of trolls. It was just
Was it
like,
men or women?
both?
Dudes, probably mostly dudes.
It was mainly, yeah, a lot of it was, but it's always the ones that hide behind the, like those little fake profile pages.
Corny
Like you
ass
never really
motherfuckers.
see, like,
Hate those.
yeah, I hate it.
Why we so corny sometimes? What's wrong with us, bro?
Yo,
Like
I
somebody
don't know.
told me
Figuring
once,
it
there was
out.
like this one girl. When I first started my journey, I used to pay so much mind to it. I don't even know why, but like I did. And there was like this one girl. She was like nobody wants to see your ass on IG. And I'm like, well, I mean, if it bothers you, you didn't have to say anything. I'm like, your shade does like your foundation doesn't match your skin, but I'm not. not putting it on.
But
Shit.
what do people get out of that? What do people get out of posting mean things on
They
people's?
just
want
love-
attention.
They just
Like I don't get that. Like if you
Yeah.
don't like something I posted, then don't like it. Unfollow.
I'm
Trying to
put
get
myself
attention
in
is
their
still
shoes.
attention.
They have this.
Yeah.
I think they just have this instinct in them. They want to spread whatever.
Like when you do
negativity
it to
they can.
celebrities, I get it. But when you do it to like
Oh.
They
everyday
just want to
people,
spread negativity.
I'm still
yo.
trying to get Logic to respond to me. I'm trolling Logic so hard on Twitter. Logic is full of
God.
shit, yo.
why do you
Why
not
you say
like
that?
Logic?
Don't
Is it because his mental
Please
health?
say that.
That he.
that, and I think his whole story is fabricated. Like
think
everything.
so?
Like I remember a few years ago, this guy did. I'm going off on a tangent. This is not.
Yeah.
No,
I love your
I didn't
tangent.
know
I'm
you
gonna save
felt
it.
this
I'm gonna
way.
say.
I
I'm
love-
We'll
I
talk
love
about it on a
Logic.
solo episode. Save it for when we have
solo
no guests.
episode?
When we have
We'll
no
talk about it
guests.
after. We'll talk about
Facts.
it after.
We'll
Because
react.
I need to know why. I need to know
Yeah.
why.
Logic is full of
We
shit.
gotta
bruh.
revisit that. I'm gonna remember that.
Yeah, I gotta
Sir
remember
Bryson
this too.
Hall, fuck out of here.
Oh Lord, that's really.
Yo,
Danny bad.
That's heat.
he's using us, yo. That's what I'm saying. He's using us to get
Who,
ahead.
that white rapper? First of all, I don't know why y'all give white rappers that much freaking leverage with us. Like, and I'm
Eminem's
not
done
trying to
for me.
say because they're white. It's just like
No,
I don't know.
that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. It's just like they have to prove themselves extra hard. And I'm
They do.
sorry to say this. We have to stop giving people entry to the cookout. Like it just amazes me. They hype. Oh, what do people say? They family. Why? Because they dance. because they can do a move, because she can twerk.
You're not
because
welcome, fam.
It's just like not everybody does not need access to the cookout. Not everybody can get a hot dog.
By the way, it is Black Music Month. I saw that on Twitter. So like, we're gonna get into some music. Maybe you guys can shout out your favorite artists or favorite albums that you heard recently by people of color artists. Not your album, CEO.
No, it's not mine.
Not your
It's
album.
another artist.
And if it is his, oh wow.
Right.
I know, but like I've been shouting that
I'm
album
gonna say
out for like a
Ciara.
whole. I've been shouting out that album every chance I get. I love that album.
It's a good
Thank
album.
you, thank you, thank you.
So like, you just disregard the criticism. You don't give a fuck about it.
Nah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really like even if they were to do like, even if I was to see a nasty comment, I feel like I grew my family so well that if someone was to say something nasty to me, I don't even need to respond. I know that they will. I know that they will.
Mama will see that like, hold up, you little skank, don't talk to my baby like
Shit.
that.
I'm about to hop in your comments if I see some negative shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I feel like we grew such a great connection that they'll come at that person. Like that person's fuck if they say anything negative under my comments. Honestly.
And you push the idea of self-love. Like, could you give like any? Share your experiences. How did you get to that point of like fully accepting yourself for who you are, and what would you say to people who are trying to find that same way? Like,
let go of the frustration. It's frustrating. It's so frustrating when you're so deep in your head.
Yes.
I know it's easier said than done. I get it, but it's like that's when you let go of that frustration and you're just in tune with what you have.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I really want to just say thank you for saying that, because that's something I struggle with.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my head all the time.
All the time.
Anxiety is like, I'm an overthinker.
Oh, me too.
And it's just like, I need to remind myself to live in the present and outside of my head. And like you said, just accept what you have in front of you.
I feel like I just started my fitness journey too, but like my boyfriend asked me, he's like, oh, are you doing this for, do you want to see results? I'm like, honestly, I just want to walk up a flight of stairs and not be fucking tired.
Exactly. It's about how you feel. It's about how you feel.
I don't care. I don't need
I don't care about
abs.
how I
Like,
look
I
no
don't
more.
need abs. I don't need my arms looking ripped. If it does, cool.
You want
thank
endurance.
Yeah.
I need that
I
shit.
agree.
you
It's
know
about
what
how
I'm
I
saying?
feel at this point.
It's
I
also,
agree.
and it's also another form of therapy for me. I feel like when I'm
facts.
frustrated and I can't think creatively, I go to the gym and just work out and just be in tune with
Zone
that.
out.
Like I'm so focused when it
Yeah.
comes to that. So I'm like, if I don't get out, I don't give a shit. But
Yeah.
I just want to walk up a flight of stairs and be
And
like,
not be
okay,
out of
good.
breath,
I'm
yeah.
not. Give me a second. Like, no,
I'm the
I
same.
hate
Feels
that
good.
I
shit.
feel
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Like,
I feel you.
I'm not doing it because I want to look a certain way. I'm doing it because I need to.
I want to feel a
good.
certain
I want
way.
to
Yeah.
feel good.
I've got to that point too. Like, I used to be mad skinny. So like, when I got like, I guess some type of like muscle, more fat, whatever, like, I kind of got to that point where like I want to be this way because it makes me feel
You say you was
more
skinny?
secure. I was mad.
Back
I can show
in
you
the day,
pictures,
guys.
yo.
You was
Throwback
scrawny.
Thursday.
I don't believe
Same. I was
Throwback
skinny
Thursday
as
is
hell.
fucking funny as hell.
I
Like,
was a little. I was a doofy ass person.
yeah.
I was skinny, big ass head, big ass ears, with a gap and glasses. Oh,
Mad
God.
hair, gum in your hair from the dude who put the gum in your hair.
Yes,
Terrible.
What do you feel about? You still live in Brooklyn, like now?
I still live in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Like, has the gentrification affected
I
you
fucking
anyway?
hate it. I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it so much. Like I hate to be that New Yorker.
No,
It's like
yeah.
fuck BG,
It's-
like just fuck you.
It comes naturally.
Yo,
Sorry.
I hate it.
Sorry.
Like okay, I grew
What
up.
can you do about it though?
Right,
Like,
I grew up in Marcy Projects, and there's fucking white people living across the street from the projects, bro. And I'm like, get the fuck out of my hood. Like, what are you doing?
No offense.
No
Get the fuck out
offense,
of my
but
hood.
get the fuck out of my hood. Like,
Be scared. Why y'all not scared no
They
more?
not scared no more, bro. They're not scared.
They're not. I tell people something like, yo, they're
Yeah.
not scared no more. Like the way they walking around certain parts of
Yo.
Brooklyn, I'm like, I wouldn't even walk in this area of Brooklyn.
I'm from the school where you used to ride the train
I
into
wouldn't, and it's
Flatbush,
just
and they would
like-
all get off by Atlantic. And then
shit,
as the
okay.
years
And
go
it's
past, you
just-
see them in
okay.
Franklin, then you see them at Park Place, and it's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going on?
everywhere.
Like, I don't
They're
understand.
Really, like the G train, y'all probably don't know the G train.
G
But
train.
like the G train is like
Do.
so known in Brooklyn,
Yeah.
and every single time I get on that train, I'm like, yo, this shit keeps getting whiter and whiter.
Mm-hmm.
The 6 train getting like that too.
Like I can't
mean,
even like, is it?
Yeah, once you get past like maybe 59th, like if it's still
crazy.
white, it's like it's getting real.
But because the South Bronx is being gentrified right now too. So that lower part of the
Facts.
South Bronx, they changing it.
I think what pissed me off too,
Damn,
even with like
BX.
Dykeman.
Isn't that like
Only the
Right.
South Bronx. I don't think they're gonna go up higher than that because
Eventually.
They will.
Nah, I don't
Nah,
think
they
so.
in Pelham Bay, they up there.
Oh, but
They
that's
up there.
but they always been there. So
Yeah.
areas
Yeah.
like
It's like a
Pelham
gap.
Bay,
The Italian-
yeah.
It's like a
Italian
gap.
been there.
Areas like Pelham Bay, Riverdale, like white people have always been in the
there, it's true.
Bronx. Like
Yeah.
it's a little different. Same thing with like places like Queens. Like they kind of run it too, but then you have like I live in Punjabi area, and in my little white neighbors, they be like pissed off too sometimes. because they said before it was all Polish and Greek, and now everything is Indian.
Even in Greenpoint for Brooklyn, they're getting mad too because in Greenpoint it's a lot of Polish and now.
Yeah, white people, we fuck with y'all, but y'all be fucking shit up. Like y'all just like
the rent going high. Like they're doing a whole big ass like.
All these meetings now about having the rent controlled because the rent is going high because everybody's like trying to catch the wave. Landlords is trying to catch the wave. It's just like, why can't we get some of these people who want to pay $2,800 for a 1-bedroom?
Yeah, white people, y'all just need to like, I don't know, what do they do? Like,
it's not. I can't even blame white people. I always say it really is when it comes to New York. It's a rich and poor thing, and just unfortunately, like all of us are poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rich are coming in. Like,
it's just about rich. It really is about rich and poor, and rich and poor is black and white.
But who's really like the rich though? Like, it is like
in New York.
For all intents and purposes, like I feel like the white people probably are. Maybe.
But so this is the thing. Even with them, even they want to save money. That's why they're taking their ass to Brooklyn. Fuck up your shit.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
Even they want to save money now because they're not scared of you no more. You don't bother them. They can call 911. They know 911 is coming in 2.5 seconds to help them.
Yep.
Do you have like any other influencers that like that influence you or like inspire you that you maybe want to shout out? If not, fuck them.
Shout out your fans.
I guess. But
I mean, I personally don't have like any like solid role models besides like my mom and stuff like that. But I feel like people like Liz, for example, I like the fact that she uses her platform to talk about mental health. And Valentina, who's another good friend of mine, I like the fact that she uses her platform about vegan and opens that area up. Like, and then like my other friend Gabby, who created like the sneakers. Like,
yes, I want. So many questions. I wanted to get into that about the girl
who finished. You got mad hype. Yo.
I know because you have to look into that. She created a shoe for Nike, and she's like the first woman to do it, right?
So it's like she created something negative and turned it into something positive. But she created the sneaker that it unites everybody, all people of color, even from white to all, to black.
The sneakers hot as shit.
Yeah, they're super dope. So I feel like with her. Like with her, she motivates me to just to keep pouring that love to other people because she could have just did that platform and just use it for herself. Right. Like she didn't have to include me. She didn't have to include, like she brought all of us in there because she wants to spread that and we can do the same. So I fuck with those girls individually because they focus on what makes them and they push themselves for that, and that just motivates me to keep doing what I'm doing.
Real woman empowerment.
Yeah, you mentioned Liz again. She's like a huge sneakerhead. You're a sneakerhead too, kind of, right?
I just jumped into it though. I wasn't.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
You're doing good though. You're holding your own. You're holding your own.
This is an important question. If your man came home with some fake kicks, would you shun him? Would you shun him, or would you still accept him? Would you be like, yo, throw them shits out, yo? What you doing,
real son?
Because at the door.
Keep it real, son.
Because like fake kicks maybe all we could afford. You know what I mean? Like so. That's all we got on this paycheck.
Air Forces cost $90. Wear them shits so you can't no more. Okay?
Get some Chucks for $55.
We're not making it to make it in that
There's
case.
options.
But like, is it
there are options?
There's options.
I can't fuck with the sneakerheads because they're not accepted of all like fucking like classes of like payment and all that. Like if that's all I could afford. Let me rock that.
You could afford fake, like you could go get a fucking pair of Skechers, like something else. Like you don't have to go.
It's not for
Skechers. I'm just big on the memory foam. The memory foam is dope. That's all I'm saying.
If you know your girl is a sneakerhead, why would you do that anyways?
Isn't that
you're doing it to yourself?
You already started off wrong. You already started off wrong.
You know she gonna rip you. You walking in here with some backward Nike checks.
I've seen some fake.
Okay, so if he came with a pair of Skechers versus a pair of fakes,
I'll take the Skechers.
All right.
I'll take the
What?
Skechers.
Yo.
I agree with you. I'd rather you wear Skechers than some fake sneakers.
You a keeper. If your boyfriend listens to this, yo, get that ring, bro. Because that's crazy. Skechers?
I'd rather Skechers over fake sneakers.
Do they even still make them shit?
They do.
Yeah,
Yes,
they do.
they
They
do.
got a
They
whole
do.
ass
They-
store on 34th too.
yeah, they used to have
Fuck,
They got
bro.
different models and shit now.
Listen,
No.
Skechers has their demographic. My mom.
mom shoes,
Oh,
mom
the
sneakers.
mom shoes, the
My
minivans.
mom love her some Skechers.
Soccer mom
They're
shoes.
comfortable.
Little
They're
kids
walking. Yeah.
and moms.
I had some fake ones, the Jordans, like, and you know what I mean? I was getting judged, but I didn't give a fuck, because that's all I could afford. Don't
hate
judge
I don't
me.
think
that
I've
shit.
no.
I'm not gonna
down
lie.
with
When
that
I was
shit.
younger and we used to go to the damn flea market, I had a pair of fake Fat Farms. The P was backwards.
Oh yeah.
They ripped me, bruh.
nigga had
But the
beef.
thing is, I didn't know they were fake. I was hyped. I was like, oh, Fat Farms came out. Oh, shit, Dad, they got them from this price? Like, yo, I was
Listen.
hyped.
I'm all
ripped me in school.
I'm all for just be yourself and all of that. Like, you want to wear fake shit, want to wear real
Please,
shit.
thank you.
Like, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are celebrities. You can finish it, who be walking around with fake bags, and you will never know it.
Right.
So
That's
it's
true.
just like
That's so true.
I was a victim.
the
Damn, that's true.
the
I don't
fake,
give a
like
damn.
all
Damn,
that
that's true.
stuff
I
is
used to
just
wear
like,
the fake
what-
bag proudly.
if you're a cornball, what's that thing? Like Bow Wow could go out there and buy the most expensive outfit in the world. You still a cornball in an expensive ass
Yeah.
suit.
Hell
Facts.
yeah, yo. I hate
Facts.
people. My biggest
Like the brands
pet
don't make you.
peeves-
Yeah.
My biggest pet peeves and like with the whole like luxury brands and like when people can afford it, it's like cool if you want to flaunt
This
and
is
like
empty.
Yeah.
Shit.
Drink
Fuck.
today.
Ain't nothing left, brother.
Fuck.
if you want to like flaunt your shit, at least put it together nice.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a way to do it.
I
There's
feel
a way
like
to do it. I feel like if you want to throw that you got money, throw that shit correctly.
do it right.
Don't
at least.
Style
Facts.
is
Yeah.
always
Always
You can't buy
better.
style. That's
Then,
the thing.
Yeah.
Style is always
Style
gonna
and
mean
class
more.
is like, you can't, that's what it is.
You can't.
Yeah. I'm just thinking back to like all the judgment I probably got from the real like sneakerheads
Yeah.
wearing the fake ones.
We all get. I wear fake sneakers too. Who cares?
Yeah.
I've done it.
Fuck y'all.
I
Don't hate me. Don't hate on me.
It happens.
Yo, if you're an advocate,
I don't think I've ever
and
wore
if
fake
all you can
sneakers.
afford is fake sneakers, rock that shit. And if
Rock
Shorty
that.
don't fuck
Make
with
sure
you,
that your outfit is at least good. Like make
At
that
least-
shit.
yeah, if Shorty don't fuck with you, then she not for you, bro. Rock them fake ones. You know what I mean? Rock them.
I mean, I have like, when I was in high school, I had a fake Dior bag, but nobody knew it was fake. It was like, what did the teacher say? She said, that's a good second. I said, bitch, mind your business. I was pissed.
That's
She was
funny.
like, but she told me to the side though. She was like, that's a real good second. That's a mind your business. Hoe.
Mind
Like,
your business.
I ain't asked you if it was a good second. It's my second, all right?
Don't worry about it.
So how has 2019 been for you, for Brooklyn Boutique overall so far?
For Brooklyn Petite, beautiful. I got to work. So last year, I was like, in 2018, I was like, okay, 2019, I'm making my mission to work with Nike, and I got to work with them this year.
That's so cool.
And it was for Puerto Rican Pride. And
I saw that.
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. So that was like a huge step for me. I was like, okay, if I can do that, time to get real. Like, I gotta get busy.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta really like is no more talking. Like now I really gotta work for that shit that I want. Cause my thing is I want to be able to cater. I want a brand where if I want a jumpsuit and it's like perfect for me, I can wear it. Like I want that for everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, bottoms is like one of the biggest things that we have issues with. I want to be able to work on that. So if I can just like if I can say that I want to work with Nike last year and it worked this year, anything's possible.
Are you like a competitive person at all? Like, do you have any desire to be like the best, the biggest representation of
No.
like women? Like, anything
I don't
like
want to be the best in anything. I just want to be able to be me and do whatever it is that I do, like, and sell it that way. Like, I don't want to be the best or be the like the first or anything. I just want my shit to actually sell and make a difference.
Mm.
You know,
To reach
like
people, yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to touch people more than just like be something.
I love selflessness, yo. Like, it's just not about just you.
It's
like,
not.
it's about everybody else. I love
Yeah.
that shit. Like, I really respect that too because like you already have a following, so you could kind of flex a bit and be like, yo, like I
He
built
can't wait
this.
to flex.
I can't.
I can't wait to flex on the people who didn't believe. That's it.
He can't wait to
can't
That's
flex.
it,
He
yo.
told
Like,
me
Yeah,
about
he
that.
can't wait to
And
flex.
it's coming. Like,
Thank you. Let me tell you. So there was this one person that, oh my God, she was like the bitch of the school. Like she used to pick on me all the time. So to her, I was SpongeBob. Like I was SpongeBob to her, like in like middle school and shit. Like she would tease me, and she reached out to me on some like, yo, we went to school together, da da da. And I could have been I could have just like been like, bitch.
Yeah.
Now I'm high, you all on me. Like, you know, I could have been that person, but I accepted the DM and I responded back. I was like, yeah, you remember I was SpongeBob. And then I expressed to her, I was like, let me tell you what that did to me real quick. Let me tell you what that did to me real quick.
damn.
And I told her exactly how I felt, and she apologized for it, and I was like, I hope you don't, if you do ever have future kids, don't teach them that way. Please. I hope you correct your wrong from what you did in the past, please. Because that shit fucked me up. Like, I wanted braces so bad. I wanted to close my gap.
They call me SpongeBob too.
Yeah, I wanted to close my gap so
I can see
bad.
that.
That shit fucked me up so bad that when I had gotten my braces, I was like a year in and I told my mom, take these shits off. I don't want this.
Damn.
Because when people see Veronica, they want to see that gap. That's what makes me me. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, take these shits off. I don't want it. Like, it's cool.
That's crazy. I vividly remember the one person specifically who made fun of me when I was in high school, like middle school too. Kyle Reeves. I'll never forget this nigga. And
You never forget that person, bro.
No, but that's like real trauma. Like it could. I still deal with that. Like what you gonna say?
I used to get picked on a lot, but honestly, if somebody say something to me now, I'd just be like, whatever, nigga.
No, but like I guess because it was so like present, like throughout the entirety of middle school, high school, like it really sat with me and like it's like affected me.
Yo, you wanna know? I had a whole nickname of Holina. Like when you want to talk about affected. Like, if somebody was to come to me right now today, because I see a lot of them just watching my every move, I just be like, oh, yeah, you on it. But I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because I had to get myself there. So it's just like, no matter what they say to me now, it's just like, okay, cool.
Now we're thinking about it, like, that was bullying. I was bullied. We were
bullied.
Like,
but
that's real. Like,
we took it, I swear. When we was growing up, we was getting bullied. We took that shit with grace.
I never got beat up, though.
Tough skin for real. I got jumped.
Like, when I see these people, whether they want to commit suicide or not, I'm like, bro, you need some really tough skin.
Yeah.
Like, you really
it goes back to the mice theory. So now you bullying. So now we have kids and they get bullied. It's just like they will probably want to. If you didn't work through the trauma, they may well want to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean,
this shit is wicked out here.
It's nuts out. It's really nuts out here. And like I feel like it's like even worse nowadays for these newer kids with social media, adding on to the.
Like, do you see these kids who go to high school now? These girls and these guys who go to high school.
What about these kids? These 13-year-olds killing themselves, like
killing themselves, full faces of makeup.
9, 10, 11, 12 years old.
I think what really got me like fucked up with like the whole mental thing for that 5-year-old girl. That committed suicide. Wow, how does she know? She was 5, and Taraji P. Henson was talking about it because she's like implementing mental as like in school.
Yeah.
And she spoke about it, and I'm like, that's such a. Why does 5-year-old know about suicide before therapy?
Yeah.
Right.
Why does she know more about suicide than that? That's the problem. That is the problem.
That's all of our problem. Yeah.
I love the fact that there are schools out there that are doing meditation instead of detention.
Yeah.
Right.
I knew that.
Tough.
I thought it was a hoax. Honestly, I was like, come on, seriously? Yeah. That's just really gonna help. And when I started practicing that shit,
it works.
Makes a difference.
Oh my God.
And it's great. I want to bring more awareness to that, but I also want to bring more awareness to something that's not even being portrayed in the news right now. The situation is going on in Sudan.
Oh gosh.
Like, I'm still kind of unfamiliar. Like, I read that like what the president was like.
Is there a media blackout in there?
Yeah.
Media blackout, and Trump don't give a fuck about nothing.
Oh,
so
gives a fuck about him.
Is anyone familiar with exactly what happened? Is the president like he got
the president what
of Sudan or something like that? The leader, like, didn't he like get kicked out or whatever, and it caused like mad turmoil.
So it's just like I feel like the army forces and all that are trying to take like control of it or something.
They were trying to turn over power over to civilians. Like, there's been negotiations at one point where they were attempting to, and it's not really working. They've been like protesting for weeks and stuff, and like, a lot of people have been killed and shit like that.
I think the same shit that's happened out there could happen out here, like, because people like want to like impeach Trump, but like. That same kind of chaos could kind of happen here if there's no real.
And this is why I need people to understand. But this is my thing with people. It's like, if all these years, I think I said this last time, if all these years we always said the president had no real power, why do we sit here and think this man has all the power?
Well, to the people who voted for him, they believe that's all that he has. So, like, if they feel like they took their leader out, then they will go nuts.
I feel like, let me tell you something. I feel like when it was like Obama, maybe he didn't have the power, but I feel like Trump.
No, I still don't think Trump has the power.
No, it's not about him having the. I just feel like the people who really like believe this shit that he be saying, and the people that are fully invested in it,
and that are not informed,
are not informed. I feel like they do give him that power. Like,
you mean like the everyday people like us? Mm-hmm. When I say power, I mean like the people who really run the country.
Oh, like run the country stuff.
Yeah. So if we never thought Obama really ran the country, why do we think Trump runs the country?
I feel
like, why can't we just go back to he is just the face of America?
It's just different. Like, Trump's like his presidency was birthed out of like hate. So, like, if they see, like, the leader who gave them that hope and that hate.
But that's because the people who run the country is full of hate. But they always been that way.
That's what I'm saying. So they take that nigga out, then they're going to fucking go nuts.
It's just in your face now.
And the narrative always changes.
Because they gave you a black president. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. They gave you a black president to show why you should never have another black president.
Yeah.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
And apparently, like, the toll amount of things that happen in Sudan is 500 killed, 723 injured, 650 arrested, 48 women raped, 6 men raped, and 1,000 missing. 1,000 missing.
I saw that.
And it's just like, I just don't understand. Like, we want to have, like, the U.S. kind of wants to build allies with certain countries and stuff like that. It's just like, let people know like what the fuck is going on. So I just don't understand.
Sudan is a country in Africa, am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why.
Africa has a really big corrupt government within itself.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we're running out of time. So we're gonna end off with this. We have this segment on this podcast called "Don't Sleep," where we basically provide either advice, a song, food, whatever, anything you had recently in your life or experience in your life that you may think of that people shouldn't sleep on. You could let the audience know that
That they shouldn't sleep on?
Yeah.
Don't sleep on meditation.
Word.
Facts.
Whatever it is. I feel like my boyfriend didn't understand. And I'm like, when you take those long showers, why do you take them? You just be sitting on the water, right? Just
You're meditating.
You're meditating. That's a form of meditation. Don't sleep on it.
I shouldn't. I'll say for this week, my don't sleep on the possibilities. Like I keep dialing back to that fucking thing we're mentioning, the top 3 podcasts, whatever. Like I never thought that was a possibility. Like there's so many like publications like Complex and Fader I want to work with, but like this one came out of nowhere, and this is a complete like new thing to me. So just don't sleep on the possibilities, because literally anything is possible, and if you just keep working and keep putting out that genuine energy, like you'll make it. So
hell yeah, you better. Congratulations. Enjoy that shit.
Thank you.
Be proud of yourself, for real.
Thank
It'd
you.
be the smallest shit, man, honestly.
And based out of India too. That's never been India.
See, look
Shout
at
out
that.
India.
Pat yourself on the back. Yeah, but they know us there.
They know what. Shout out to Mumbai.
I don't know
We'll be there
how.
soon. Live podcast.
There we go.
Put it into the universe. I don't know.
There you go.
Coco, Laney, CR, do you have anything people shouldn't sleep on this week?
I would say don't sleep on your talents. I think a lot of us have hidden talents that we don't necessarily foster and like try to grow. So yeah, if there's something that you've been wanting to do or itching to do or itching to get into, and you're just like you're not sure about it, just do it. Whether it be art, whether it be using social media, to put yourself out there. Don't sleep on it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
That's beautiful. I like that.
Do not sleep on yourself. This is my message to women. Don't sleep on yourself. First of all, you are a whole woman. You are never a half of woman, and shit, nobody ever completes you as a woman, okay? So do not sleep on yourself. Do not sleep on your power, and stop giving your power away to people who do not deserve you, because as she said, you are worthy. So everything you want in this world, you are worthy of it. So stop walking into everything as if you're a half a person. You are not a half of anything. Bitch, you are a whole. Okay, Tamar, bitch, you are whole. Go ahead.
Conscious Rap.
I want to say shout out to my man King Solomon and Cerebral Sound Music Group, CSMG. This tape that he just dropped, man, the Pain tape is so good. And this is one of my friends I've seen progress with music, and he's been getting so much love. He was in Source Magazine a couple years ago. Like, he's really doing his thing. One particular song I want y'all to check out is Mountaintop. He said,
Facts.
He said, when you're always going to be scared to jump right before you fly. And that sat with me so deeply because it's so true.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Say that again.
You'll always be scared to jump right before you fly.
That is true.
It's true.
That is
so
true.
most of the time when you're scared, you're stepping out your comfort zone.
Yep.
You got to jump if you want to fly.
Yep.
Shout out King Solomon.
Shout out
He'll
to
come
King
back
Solomon,
on
man.
to properly promote that project, because I love that project
I'm going
too.
to make sure we get him back, and I'm going to be here.
Right. Veronica, yo, you're awesome. I still have mad more
Awesome
questions,
sauce.
but the engineer's telling us we got to get the fuck out of here. I hope you enjoyed yourself.
Oh, I did.
Yes,
First
thank
of
you for
all,
coming.
y'all
Thanks for
provided
coming. We
the
appreciate you.
alcohol, the conversation.
Word.
Y'all dope as fuck.
Hopefully
Thank
you
you.
Have me back.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yo, part 2.
Battle of the Sexes, I keep
Part
telling y'all.
two.
That
Yo,
should
we
be
gonna
lit.
make
We
it
got to
happen.
have that. Battle of the
Shit.
Sexes. That'd
Have
be
a
hard.
super lit show.
Facts. We want to shout out where people can find you so they can follow you.
Yes, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Brooklyn Petite.
Word. Follow, like, and don't hate. Don't leave no hateful comments.
Nah, don't. But if you do, my Petite family gonna come at you.
Word. And you can follow us on Instagram at Introverted Intuition Pod. You could subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Introverted Intuition. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, whether it be iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, whatever rating system they have, please utilize that, because we definitely enjoy seeing the feedback and hearing back from you guys, and we definitely appreciate all the listeners and all the followers. And yeah, again, June 21st, press play, 5th and Mad, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., open bar, 10 o'clock to 11 p.m.
Come see us.
I'll be
And-
there, so come through.
You come through?
I'm gonna come through.
Nice.
Word.
Gotta
Okay.
show love. Gotta show love.
Word. Definitely appreciate that. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
And leave the hate at the gate. Good night,
Amen.
Good
niggas.
night.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, and listen to that Golik album. That Golik album was fire. That was it.
That was dope. That was amazing.
Word.
That was so good.
Thank you.
Time for a promo pick.
And Smoke, we're going to take the promo pick. I'm a P. We're going to go outside and smoke.
I got to roll up.
Yeah, roll up.